And here we are. Welcome to Hot Takes, everybody. It is I, vaporwave DJ and tastemaker Young Shiro, along with my co-host Skeleton Lipstick.
That's me. Hello.
Welcome to Hot Takes, guys, a vaporwave adjacent independent art and music talk show that we started almost 4 years ago as a way to crazy, right? As a way to get to know our friends in the art and music scene, platform and celebrate, and figure out what they like about art and music, and see how much it overlaps with what we like, right? For everybody tuned in, we've got a great night ahead of you. We've got Luxury Elite for the first hour, and FrankJavCee for the second hour for this very special remix episode, which was all Skeleton Lipstick's idea.
Because I wanted to talk to these two people because I like them.
pretty good taste, gotta say.
Well,
two of our
it's
favorites.
fun when we don't always get to do the remix episodes, and it's a fun little, nice little. I think it's a nice little variation on the Hot Takes format.
I agree, and it's much needed, especially for people like Lux and Frank that are absolutely crowd pleasers. Now, you guys don't need me to
they're like
introduce.
fan favorites, right? Exactly.
They are. You know all about them. And so what we're going to do is we're going to dispense with the biographical portion of the show. We're going to solicit user-submitted questions. We're just going to rap, see what they're up to.
A little chat with these bon vivants in the salon of Hot Takes.
Along with the hoi polloi in the Hot Takes horde. And invite your friends, man. Tweet, repost if a Frankie made it. Good. If you have questions.
Did you just see that?
Yeah, he's in the chat.
Somebody's in the chat, and that person is Frank.
We're going to let our guests talk about the hot takes in the album recommendations tonight. We're going to dispense with that as well. So, just a quick ground rules. No punching down. Punching up is fine and, in fact, encouraged. No sexism, racism, homophobia, transphobia, or xenophobia. And we got commands you guys can type. They all start with an exclamation point. Comp lets you check out Hot Takes Volume 1, a compilation full of tracks from previous guests, with all donations going to support the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. Discord, which lets you jump in our community server, so you can joke around, get to know some people. Donate if the spirit moves you. Follow if you would like to follow us on socials. A word about those donations. Those monies go towards equipment upgrades and art commissioned by people in the scene. None of that goes into our pockets, though I have to declare them on my taxes, so that's fun. Skelly and Shiro, if you want to follow our individual social media. And along with that, you want to get a shirt from the very last Vaporwave Live, put on by Quiz and Dom with a design by Bfant. And then finally, Spotify. They may not pay their artists very well, but we've still got some solicited, curated playlists put together by previous guests, along with our official playlist with me, what me and Skelly have been listening to lately. I think that's enough about us. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I think that's enough about us. I guess one thing I will mention really quick, and you and Lux reminded me, is if you guys want to, I am on Blue Sky now, so you can follow me at Skeleton Lipstick on Blue Sky, and go and be my friend there too, friends.
That's awesome. Blue Sky's definitely jumping compared to Twitter or X. I'm going to call it Twitter until I get off of it. But follow the man on Blue Sky.
I'm never going to call that X. That's crazy.
I found him pretty easily, and you can too. All right, so without further ado, man, let's get this very special remix episode started.
Lux still doing link duty, even though she's
still doing link duty, and I can hear her howling from the other room. Why don't you go ahead and unmute yourself, Luxury Elite?
I couldn't resist.
Hey, whoa, look at that picture.
I'm not cast aspersions here. Thank you.
Look at that iPod with the Lux logo, the new and improved Lux logo. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's exactly what she looks like, y'all.
I am an iPod classic first generation that was featured in a commercial in 2001. Yes, that is
amazing.
Me. I've just been talking about MP3 players for like the last few weeks on Blue Sky anyway. So I was like, why don't I just become one? And
you just got one. I believe.
Become iPod. My light here. Hold on.
That is correct. I got a creative Zen touch. Little bit inspired by the YouTube handle Dank Pods. the Australian gentleman who will laugh gleefully as he destroys really terrible headphones. It's fabulous. It's really fabulous. I really like it. It runs really well for it being the same age as I was whenever I was in my junior year of high school. I worded that wrong. It came out my junior year of high school. It's younger than me, but I still feel very old.
I think I understood what you meant.
Blame the cherry bourbon. It's fine.
The cherry
It's
bourbon.
the cherry bourbon.
Cherry bourbon. It's fine.
Cherry bourbon. What kind of cherry bourbon is that?
I mean, it's like, well, I guess it's like cheapo. It's like Evan Williams brand. It's like $15 at your local liquor store, but it tastes like if Robitussin tasted delicious.
Oh, well, I can actually. I know. I've always wanted Robitussin to taste delicious too.
I know.
Anything but
right?
Malort.
Excuse you. I wish I had Malort right now, but Malort's a little pricey, and it's kind of so hard to find here. It's $30 in comparison to $15 for cherry bourbon, but I will have
Nice.
Malort again someday.
Half the price
Mark
and
my
better
words.
tasting.
Rude. I disagree. Well, I kind of agree, but I have to disagree as the Malort stan.
Okay, Lux, I got a serious question for you.
Yes.
No. What? Now I don't. I didn't even in the first place.
Oh,
I want to
sorry.
say, I know you have a lot of phenomenal finds from the 90s, 80s, 70s that are just some very special talismans. I would even refer to them as. What is one item that you own in particular that you are most proud of, like whether it be one of your fabulous T-shirts or one of your wonderful little figurines or anything, any bric-a-brac from
That is a
any
damn
cheap
good
bric-a-brac. That's
question.
like, what's one of the things that you're like, this is my most treasured thing? Or that's a hard question. What's one of the most treasured things? It doesn't have to be the apps.
Oh man.
I know you're so
You're such a good interviewer, dude.
I will say, I think I have two answers. I can't decide, so I have to say both.
it doesn't have to be your favorite. Just give me one that's really good. Or both. No,
Shirt-wise.
give me both. Give me both.
Your
Sorry.
favorite bauble, please.
Shirt-wise,
Okay,
favorite
shirt-wise.
thing, my Sugar Ray shirt. I have
Hard.
a soft spot for my Sugar Ray shirt that I spent $100 on back in 2020. I spent a lot of money
Whoa.
on it, but it was worth it. I
When
cherish
is-
that shirt.
Wow. Okay, the Sugar Ray shirt from. Oh wow. That sounds amazing. What's the other one?
The other thing, because it's a little more heartfelt, is I actually have a copy of like the Neon Nights compilation that inspired so much of early Lux and
Oh,
like
yeah.
now Lux. I own
Right.
that on vinyl and on
You do?
cassette.
Oh,
Yes.
that's really good choices. I like it a lot. Excellent.
Yes. I actually
Those
have
are
the
good
Neon
choices.
Nights vinyl on my wall. The Neon Nights vinyl is on my wall. It's just like, it doesn't really play. It looks really scratched up. So I just kind of have it hanging up just as like my pride and joy and the reminder of, hey, this inspired this weird commercial that you found in like 2012, 2011.
Yeah.
2011 inspired so much of your Lux output. And you should just have that there as a reminder of the cool things that have happened since discovering that weird commercial.
I love that answer, and I
Yeah,
love
that's a hard answer.
support behind it as well. That's great.
Thank you.
So, do you want to do hot takes and recommendations, or do you want to answer some more questions real quick?
Yeah, what do you want?
I think that it would be really fun for me to do recommendations.
Hell yeah!
We love-
What do you got for us?
Okay, so my first pick.
Oh, real
Let
quick,
me go
sorry, and I'm sorry to
Oh,
interrupt you as
rude.
well. I asked both of our guests to prepare 3 album recommendations and give us a hot take in the spirit of what we typically do. Thank you for letting me introduce that.
Cool. No worries. I was joking on, if anybody hears me calling him rude, I'm joking. I'm joking. I pinky swear.
I will
But-
survive.
Fair enough. The first one is something that I discovered recently. I mentioned it on my Blue Sky, but it is an album that I truly don't even remember how I found it. I know I've downloaded it with like 20 other albums like 2 weeks ago, but this album is by an artist named Vanessa, and it is called 2000s Baby. All right, Link. So for
Hard.
that, It kind of reminds me. Okay, so it's very much how it sounds. It's like 2000s inspired. They're obviously using a whole bunch of like Destiny's Child. They use a Cassie track. They
Oh, wow.
use they use a whole bunch of different little like really fun tracks. Like it's very pop, but done in a very like, it's like if iClick or specifically in Rail took a whole bunch of cocaine. They decided to go really crazy on this. And it kind of also reminded me a bit of an old compilation that I'm also going to link to from 2011. I don't know if either of you remember it. It's by an old label called Egyptian Maracas. I don't know if you know it. This compilation, they had Jacob 2-2, they had Stephen Ferris,
Karayu, Yojimbo Billions. Wow.
I want to say Coyote Cleanups on it. Like they have
yeah, holy shit. Jacob 2-2 is on it.
Yeah, and a lot of these artists sampled like 90s and 2000s hits and turned it into their own thing. My favorite track on there, and still one of my favorites, is Hero Bust's version of Pony, which sounds batshit crazy.
Oh, the Genuine track?
Yes,
Nice.
It's a banger. It is a banger.
I gotta check. I saw you post, I think it was on Blue Sky. I saw you post that lifestyle comp the other day, and it was like early in the morning. I just wanted to be like, bitch, what you know about lifestyle? But like I forgot to say something to you about it as the day went on. That's pretty badass. It kind of dovetails with that a little bit.
Yes, Skelly, were you going to say something? I heard a whoa, whoa, whoa.
Eurobust is on this? That's crazy.
And that track smacks. It is so fun. It's like dubsteppy, crazy.
Yeah, because like I that's what I'm saying. Is like Eurobust today is like super dubstep. Like I've seen them at EDM festivals, and I'm like,
wow.
I've seen them at EDM festivals, like with kids going wop wop wop.
It's crazy
like,
which people blow up, dude.
In the neon bikinis, in like not really the biggest main stage, but definitely on side stages. I've seen Hero Bust. I didn't know that this is where this existed.
Yeah, I didn't even know he had gotten that big. I'm proud of him. I could honestly see it. I feel like his work
other
would
people
be really
in the chat. Short stuff.
Yeah, Short Stuff fucks with the dubstep.
Oh
yeah.
my god. Well, of course, Short Stuff will know this.
Yeah.
There we go.
I wish Nathan was here.
If anybody's going to understand the dubstep, it's going to be the Short Stuff, obviously. So yeah, that's what I was thinking. The same thing. Like
she'd be like, crazy. I'm going to my third show this week. Kind of tired. Sorry.
Of course. Thank God. Thank God. Short Stuff. Thank God. Our mom Short Stuff is in it. She was able to ding tag this much even better than I could. I was like, what? This is crazy. Let me go through this.
Goes to more shows in 1 week than I do.
I highly recommend it. I think I have it uploaded somewhere. It very much is so random. That album.
Great choice.
Why, thank you. Now, number 2. We're gonna go back in time a little bit. This is an album from Not Fun that I downloaded literally 10 years ago. I downloaded this album. I remember downloading this album, but I just never got around to listening to it. My computer croaked. I still had it on my external hard drive, and I've been trying to go back into my very first external hard drive and trying to grab a whole bunch of things to put on my MP3 player.
I lost so much shit from my first external hard drive. Yeah, go ahead.
I thankfully have not. If I lose it, I will die. So this album is by an artist named Night Court, and their album is called Law and Order, which is I love both of those very much. But this album kind of reminds me, I feel like if I would have heard it 10 years ago, it would have really inspired noir in a way that like Motor City, of course, did. But I feel like this album is what I wanted noir to be.
Are you talking about the Sand Circles album?
Yes, Motor City,
nice.
Motor City being the Sand Circles album.
So Lux and I are both huge, you more so than me, big fans of a lo-fi artist that I believe was on Not Fun, right? Called Sand
Motor
Circles.
City.
Chris, do you remember Sand Circles?
I'm not familiar, but I will make myself
anybody
familiar.
in chat, check out, of course, check out what she's recommending, but check out Sand Circles. God damn.
So their Sand Circles is really great. Like his first 2 albums were kind of like lo-fi, but had like kind of like a chill wavy. He was kind of being lumped in with chill wave, even though he wasn't really quite there. But Motor City basically feels like if somebody was doing an aerial view of the setting of RoboCop. That is how it feels to me.
I would say that. Or like Escape from New York.
Yes, it feels like a really weird, like 80s sci-fi soundtrack. It's not weird, but it's really
It's
good.
grimy. It's gritty.
It's so, oh my God, it blows my mind. That said, this Night Court album goes where I feel like Motor City didn't, where it's like really in depth, like you're in RoboCop. Like that is how Law and Order
That's
sounds
a
to me.
badass description.
Lots of
Great.
really corrupt. There's a lot of crazy samples. It's involving police brutality. It's crazy what they sampled here.
This is very exciting.
But it's a really good
Listen to
release.
This is
Like
so cool.
yes, I really wish I would have found this 10 years earlier, but it kind of like discovering it now was really nice. It was like, wow, I'm glad I downloaded this. I'm glad I found this, and I'm glad I get to share it now to people who
cool, man.
probably have never heard of it.
Never
because-
heard of it. This sounds
yeah.
fucking cool as hell.
Yes.
Yep.
So I highly recommend
Great
checking
name
that
drop.
out. And then my third is an album that I have been praising on and off through Neon Nights or through my blog Brief Commercial Break. But it is a compilation that was originally curated by Virtual Airbnb and then physically released via Celadon Plaza called Secret Exploration Program Volume 1. There's not really a spoken like theme. I know some people have called it the solar punk compilation. Yes, it's kind of different in my opinion. I don't know. As I wrote in Brief Commercial Break, I basically said like the cover, because the cover is like this like looking like this AI robot looking thing, and then the backdrop is like the greenhouse. It just made me feel like it was like an alternate universe where like the Boston Dynamics robots got really pissed off at their owners and took over the world, and that they are I don't know. It kind of reminds me of like, okay, so they chose to take care of this earth because the humans did not, because we're fucking it over. But
I
it's
like
really yeah, I feel like a lot.
Wow.
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Chris.
No. I'm going through the track list right now. This is great.
Yeah. Who are some of the more prominent artists on the
These
label?
are some. No, they're like all artists I like a lot.
Yeah,
Actually.
yeah.
Oh, it's a lot. It's really long.
Oh yeah, it's not like the longest, but some of the tracks are pretty long. I've played quite a few tracks. There was a Twin Pine Small track that I played from that. I want to say I played the Babe Fake and Virtual Airbnb track I played recently. Your Discovery ended up showing up on there with that track Ice Drive on my last episode. There's a lot of great tracks on there.
This looks really good.
This
looks really good.
It's
Man, I definitely missed this one. This is great.
Yep,
I discovered it late too. Shout out to Virtual Airbnb. You did a really great job in curating this. The flow of the album is great. I highly recommend it to everybody.
Yeah, well, this looks amazing.
Hell yeah, those are some solid fucking recs.
Oh yeah, can I recommend a bonus real quick, because I felt bad that I didn't include it?
Whatever you want to do.
All right, I know it's been like 20 minutes of me jabbering on.
We don't care.
No, that's why we have you here. This is really nice to have you jabber, not me or Isaac. I love it. Please, I'm so happy.
I shall jabber. Well, I have to recommend. I wanted to include this in my top 3, but I was having a hard time. I was like, oh god, maybe they'll let me do a bonus. I'm just gonna go ahead and recommend Luxury Noise's last EP release, After Everything, which he has been promoting recently, and I will promote it again for him because that EP fucking bangs. I think it's my favorite thing that he's released. Period.
Luxury Noise is always dropping straight gold.
I'll tell you what, man, this is amazing. This is like all this stuff you've recommended is deeply inspiring, and like I'm like, wow, I really want to go make music now. And after I listen to this,
please do.
Right.
This is very inspiring stuff. Oh wow.
Yes, the EP is really nice. I enjoyed every song, and trust me, I love all the albums, but the EP is just hits just right. So check that out, support him if you can.
Jeff Smooch, huh?
Yes, exactly.
Nice. Cool.
So yeah, if you all want to ask me questions, or I can do my hot take.
Yeah, let's get that hot take.
Okay. Well, first let me do my last Linktree Elite moment. Here you go.
Elite.
Oh, yo, thanks for dropping the Sand Circles album. Y'all check that shit out.
Yeah, that album is a banger. I highly recommend it. I was really, really broke whenever Motor City came out, but I loved it. I loved what I heard from it so much that I immediately bought the cassette, and I was like, overdraft be damned. it was worth it. It was great. So my hot take, and it actually might be a little spicy. We'll see.
Okay.
But basically, I feel like, yes, who sampled is seen to many as like, oh, you're ratting on us and our samples. Like, I know that whenever I started, nobody revealed their samples, and it was a fun game of like an accidental discovery, and then like feeling the excitement of, oh, I got a sample.
I liked that a lot too. I agree.
Yes, I thought that was so fun.
History is an important thing, and also it creates a little puzzle for people to solve. And you know, I hate the internet tends to try and solve everything for you too quickly. You know what I mean? It's like, go ahead.
No, absolutely. I totally agree with that. But I will say that now that it has been used as this way of people getting internet kudos, is like, oh, I found this person's sample, obscure or whatever. Look at me. Let me get my points. I kind of hope that I kind of would like for more newer artists or just artists in general to use it as like a tool, because my hot take is that I feel like a lot of these newer artists are kind of sampling the same things I've heard repeatedly for the last 10 years.
Oh, shit.
You would know more than anybody, probably.
I feel like I feel so bad doing this, because I know that a lot of these new folks are just in it to have fun. Well, some of them I know are like, why can't I get a show book? Why can't I do this, that, and the other? And I feel like part of it might be because of the fact that people that have been in the scene for a lot longer are hearing some of these sampled tracks, and it's like, oh, I heard this in a Saint Pepsi track. Oh, I heard this sampled by Mesh. Oh, I heard this sampled by Cyber Reality or Brains or whoever. And I feel like Who Sampled could be such a good tool used for newer artists who find a sample that they like. They're like, okay, I like this song. Let's see if anybody else has sampled it. Now let's see how they sampled it, and let's see what parts they use. How can I elevate that? And I feel like that's kind of my take. I feel like I kind of wish that artists as a whole, because I've been starting to do that also. Checking to see if anybody else has sampled the track I'm trying to use. Honestly, if I see like that more than like 4 people have used the sample, I just am like, okay, I'm scrapping this idea. We're going to go on to the next track.
I love this. Yeah.
Because
that's
it's just
super
like,
fair. I've definitely heard my fair share of like sample twins.
Also, you might find somebody like an artist that sampled this one song, and now you're like, okay, well, what else has like, okay, you could dive into the library of the artist who's been sampled and get a little deeper into their archive too, and see what other songs like, and then you might find something else there that people have overlooked.
And that's honestly what I was doing too. I would like, whenever I first started, I would go, I now find channels and go from there. But I would also find the rest of the album and like see, okay, has this been sampled before? No, how can I do this? I can at least like do my Lasership Stereo Fantasy, but with a different song that doesn't completely sound like him. And I feel like vaporwave is an oversaturated place, and I'm not even trying to say that in like a snarky, bitchy way. I'm just saying a lot of people are in the scene doing their thing. Think about how you want to elevate yourself in the scene. How do you want to get people to know who you are and to remember you and to think about you? Like, prime example for me right now, Mom and Dad's Computer. They are an artist that has been quite prolific, but I feel like they have a really great curational ear. Sure, it helps that they're probably sampling more in like a Y2K realm, but I can hear that and I can be like, oh, that sounds like that was from this Mom and Dad's Computer album. I really like this, in a way that I feel like it's not quite happening for others. And I don't know, like I said, I hope that this doesn't sound bad. I'm sure this is kind of a spicy
It sounds terrible.
I think that you're delivering it with an incredibly diplomatic tone. Yeah.
I'm at least trying to say, like, I would love to see people experiment a little bit more and dive a little bit more in. You don't have to sample the same Alexander O'Neal songs. You don't have to sample the Midas Touch. You don't have to sample Spend the Night. Like, I know it kind of seems like people are following a formula. You don't have to follow that formula. Like, just find things that feel right with you, but also make sure that other people have not done it before you. And if they have, think about, how can I do this different? How can I make mine stand out? That Millie Scott song that so
Every
many
little
people
bit.
have. Yes, fucking bootleg BB elevated that track in such a
they
way that I cannot hear. Like, if I hear anybody else do Every Little Thing, I'm like, oh, bootleg BB fucking killed it. And that takes me out of this song. It takes me out of enjoying this other artist's song, because it's like, it's the same, like, sampling the same intro, sampling the same bridge, sampling the same chorus. And it's
I love it when, like, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I love
No,
it when,
you're
like, you
good.
listen to almost an entire song and you don't know the sample, but you recognize it, but don't really know what it is. Midnight Premiere did a flip of You're Not My Kind of Girl by New Edition. Which
yeah.
you know exactly what song I'm talking about because I've been playing it so much. And, like, I got all the way through the song, and they flipped, like, parts of it, so I, like, didn't really know what it was. And then finally, like, at the very end, they, like, kicked in with the vocals, and I was like, all right, this is elevated for sure.
Yeah, I kind of felt bad because I did not realize me and Midnight Premiere sampled the same song pretty, like, in around the same time. The track they used for Broken Hearts, he had sampled for another track that was on another Celadon Plaza comp, and I was like, oh no! But thankfully, he used different things and I used different things, and his was a little bit pitched differently. So I breathed a sigh of relief, but I was so afraid that I accidentally, like, kind of fucked up a sample twin moment. It didn't appear on Who Sampled either. Actually, I looked it up beforehand, and it didn't show anybody had. So I was a little gagged and goofed
Nice.
whenever I heard it. I was like,
Eggs
oops.
and goofs.
So, yes, I've been
That's
watching
fun.
too much RuPaul's Drag Race.
Hell yeah, RuPaul.
But I guess that's well, not quite hell yeah, RuPaul, but I mean the fracking. But I appreciate what RuPaul has done for Drag Race and for drag queens in general. But yes,
Again, diplomatically handled.
thank you. I think I'm done jabbering.
I think what you
now.
said is fair, and I don't think it was in any sort of spirit of malice or, you know, anything like that. I think it's just a gentle admonishment. Get your chops, get your practice in, elevate your samples, do a little more hunting.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the
there's
kids
a lot
are
of
doing
stuff
a
out
great
there.
job.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there beyond what's on, like, some random funk channel. Just start digging deep. It's really fun. Like, I know it takes forever. It takes me hours to sample hunt, days to sample
I
hunt.
can't even imagine how long it takes you to do your sample hunting. Particularly,
God.
Yeah,
you know-
especially since yours are really, like, deep cuts usually.
Well, yeah, not only that, but they have to emotionally resonate with you and fit the theme that you're working with and fit the emotion that you're trying to convey. And that's
too.
You know, that's not like an easy task. I don't know. I can't even imagine how long you're trying to find exactly what something should feel like, and to think that, okay, this is something I can work with too. Because you probably find tracks that you do resonate with and would fit the mood and theme that you're going for, and then you're like, oh, but how is this going to work when I actually start? You know, stretching?
Yeah. Oh,
Start-
trust me. I've had plenty of times where I have downloaded like 20 to 30 songs, and then I'll go through them and I'm like, no, this isn't going to work after all. So I have to scrap all 30 that I just, like, downloaded. Also, I just saw Christ, I See You. I have cheap CDs. Like, I thankfully work at a place that accepts donations, including CDs, and I have quite a few. I don't have a CD drive. And my car does not have a CD player anymore, which also kind of blows. I need to finally get Isaac to rip all these CDs that I've just been kind of hoarding and assembling. I think I have like 10 at this point. But yeah, that is a good recommendation. Buying cheap CDs, that would actually be a killer recommendation for anybody as well.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah. I
I'm
love it. Hey,
done.
guys, you are invited to ask some questions in the chat for Lux. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and hit you with one. What musical artists stopped making music that you wish you could revive?
Drips. Easy. Drips.
Hard choice.
Hold up. Let me go find him real
Drips
quick.
is good shit.
I'm gonna be Linktree Elite again. Hold on 2 seconds. So Drips is an artist that appeared. He inspired me. I found Out of Control, a track he did, on total accident. I don't even remember. I guess he was recommended to me like as like a SoundCloud algorithm thing, but he was my favorite. Like I fell in love with his work and I loved his sample choices. He did an incredible job with a track that I later discovered was a D-Train remix. I found that out a few years ago and I flipped my shit once I realized it because I've been looking for it for 10 years at that point.
Hard.
Out of control samples like Evelyn Champagne King. Look at me, I'm being a sample rat. But I'm just saying he does a lot of great, he chose a lot of great samples and was doing more of like a funky like sample curation in comparison to everybody that was doing like a smoother, more relaxing thing. And I feel like that was kind of an inspo for folks like me. Like I'm pretty sure that he was partially an inspo for Topaz Gang. Wouldn't surprise me if Ryan St. Pepsi said, "Oh, I loved him. He was great." But Drips, he disappeared out of nowhere after he released. I want to say I can't remember if it was our split. I think it was his last track that he did with Fortune 500. He like disappeared, and I would love to see him come back. I just keep hoping that he will
do that.
I know, but at least, well, I can't even say at least he kept his tracks, but because a lot of his tracks he's deleted. I found an archive of them through some random Russian MP3 site that was sketchy as fuck. Yeah, they ripped all of his SoundCloud
Are you talking about Are You Tracker?
No, it wasn't that. Don't spoil that. Don't rat them out. What are you doing?
Everybody knows about Are You Tracker. Damn.
I'm just kidding. Let me have my moment.
But no, I'm just saying it was like, I don't even remember the name. It was just some random like Russian MP3 site. I don't know if it was the same site that kind of raised an eyebrow whenever I accidentally grabbed two Com True's albums because I didn't realize that those were tracks that were on his two albums. But it was a sketchy site that hosted old SoundCloud tracks that had since been deleted that I acquired and hoarded. I think I actually put the Drips tracks up on my cable broadcasting YouTube, my personal YouTube that I don't really use personally. So if you want to find those tracks, they are all there for your listening pleasure. They go off.
Thank you for your archiving.
Hell yeah. Yes. Yeah, thank you. I try to do my part as well.
I try.
So we got a lot of questions. Skelly, do you want to get one in real quick before I start on them all?
No, let the people talk. Let the people talk.
Okay, as long as you feel like you get a chance to talk. You're an interviewer too.
I know Lux. Let the people get to talk to Lux.
Perfect. All right, fair. Archangel wants to know, do you have any advice for up-and-coming vaporwave artists besides what you said in your hot take?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say just have fun with it. A, of course, first and foremost. B, don't feel shame in how you curate your samples. Don't feel shame, like, not in how, I should word that differently. Not how you curate, how you work with your samples. What DAW you use specifically. Like, I used to be so very like, oh no, if people find out I use Audacity, am I going to be seen as a less than?
Oh my god, everybody was using Audacity.
I mean, I knew people that were using like FL Studio or using like Ableton or whatever. Meanwhile, I was like, as I've said before, I used to make
it with a better time stretching things on it too. I'll tell you the truth.
That is true. I was using like a really like a free WavePad editor, and I was splicing everything manually. I've mentioned it before.
You mentioned that for when you came on the first time. I never forget that.
Damn, you got a good memory.
Well, thank you.
I always remember the production techniques that people talk about specifically.
That's true.
You know,
the way my brain is wired.
That seems like that really resonates with you.
Everything that anytime our friends talk about that they produce music, I lock that in the archive. Trust me. And it's like, okay, when you need to do this, remember how Lux did it, or like we need to do this.
Yeah, truly. I mean, and I'm still basically doing it the same way. I haven't really changed a lot. Just what programs I use. I still use Audacity, but I use something called Awesome Audio to like splice up everything, and I just am really meticulous with how everything sounds, making sure it doesn't sound crackly, like it's obvious I'm using another part. Like, I don't know, do whatever works for you. And what was my last one? Oh my God, I just blanked I had 3 suggestions and I just blanked on my last one. I will think about it and remember in like 2 seconds, I'm sure. But just remind yourself that no matter what you do, oh yeah, the third
There's
one.
2 seconds. There we go.
I knew if
got
we
it,
just
I
shut
got
up,
it.
she would remember.
I know, I just blabber on and on, don't I? But what I was gonna say was advice that Transmuteo gave me. I don't know if you all remember Transmuteo. He was great. I miss him very much. But he told me once in a tiny chat, he was like, you put whatever your track is in between tracks that you really like. Some
That's
of
what
your
I've
favorite
heard,
tracks.
yeah, that's genius
I said the
advice.
same thing.
Yes. So if you feel like you like it, then fuck what anybody else thinks. If you feel like it is solid next to some of your favorite songs, then go with it. I have to remind myself. You can't fixate on, oh, what if somebody doesn't like this? Or, oh, what if somebody is commenting ZZZ on your YouTube video for whatever? Imagine, but just focus on the fact that you like it. It's something that you're proud of, and just remember that. Don't focus so much on what other people say. Just don't let other people shape what you do with your project. There you go.
I've literally used free, or what is it called? Free samples tracks in DJ sets. So, like, if you made a song in an hour for 3D Blast's free samples, it might be one of my favorite songs I've ever heard. You just never know, man. You never know what people are going to think.
True.
Crispy Doodle's banger question, what is your favorite vaporwave song?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, that's a hard question.
Yeah, that is a really
Oh, wow.
That's a tough one.
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of wondering if I can even find the answer to that.
Oh my God. Okay, I have a couple of answers.
Oh, thanks for the donation, Neon Pines Mall. Shout out. I was just thanking one of our guests for their donation.
I'm trying to think.
Thank you. Was it Tweeter who donated?
It was Neon
So I
Pines Mall.
guess
Oh, Neon Pie. Yo,
Yeah, shout out Neon Pines Mall.
Neon Pines. Yes. I would say probably it's going to be really hard. I feel like I could name off 2 or 3. The first one that came to mind for me was a track by Topaz Gang called, I would say MTV Vibes. I really enjoy MTV
Interesting.
Vibes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And actually, there was a track that Trashko sampled on. I don't know what the album translation is called. It's the one I've been talking a lot about. It's the one that has Lovin' and oh my God, I'm blanking on the fucking name. But there's a track on there that actually samples the same song in a different way. And it's like it involves all the vocal part, but then it goes into the sax sample used for MP3 or MTV vibes. LMAO, MP3 vibes, MTV vibes. And I immediately got chills. I was like, holy shit,
Nice.
This is crazy. I did not expect it. I like freaked out. Second choice, I guess I will have to say the one I always request that Ryan plays as a joke. Well, not really as a joke. I always say it genuinely. Silhouettes by Saint Pepsi, because I feel like that song is just mwah. I usually am like a naysayer of vocal heavy vaporwave songs. I admittedly feel like vocals used in vaporwave can be a bit of a crutch.
Yeah.
And
That's kind of a hot take you just said right there.
Yeah, it is.
I almost went into that, but I was like, I'm already probably gonna get myself in trouble for that.
I'm actually
for
playing
raising
MTV
it.
vibes in the background right now.
Vaporwave song, and then it stop and then I stop it, and then it goes into the music like it's at the end of the sample that's being looped, and you think the vocals are about to come in, and then I always thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah. And also, I would like to say,
Thanks
and
for
this
the
is
donation,
again, God, what's the track? Oh yes, Venture X Vacation, another sample heavy song, or not sample heavy, vocal heavy song, admittedly, but how he uses it.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the sample. It's like the Robin Gibb sample, and there's just something about it. How he used the vocals effectively to really get the point across, and he actually made it sound more melancholy than the original, which is saying something because the original song is really fucking melancholy.
Yeah.
just how he effectively made it more morose. I just always really loved that song. It was always one of my favorites.
Shout out Ben Torres.
Yeah, shout out. I miss him.
Like one of the first like funkier vaporwave producers that I had really heard kind of burst on the scene.
Yeah, and a chillwave artist before that with Pillars of Creation.
That's
Oh
right.
yeah, very very underrated chillwave or lesser known chillwave artist for sure.
Yes.
The first vinyl that was produced on Pacific Plaza was the Venture X one.
Oh,
Nice.
no. Oh, okay. Sorry. I heard that way wrong, but I'm happy. Wait, Pacific Plaza released a Venture X record?
I think Pacific Plaza, Stratford Court. Sorry, Stratford Court.
Oh!
I was gonna say that's a little more on
okay.
brand for
No,
Stratford
not.
Court.
I was like,
I said wrong. Stratford Court, I think their first vinyl was the Venture X vinyl.
that makes sense. Is it the one with the shoes, like the woman with their legs crossing and the high heels?
Yes, I believe so, yes.
Okay, I remember that. I vaguely remember that. Sorry, I really was like, wait,
That
what?
makes sense
No,
because some of
that's me.
Stratford Court's
I-
early
I-
shit was kind of future funk adjacent.
Mhm.
California labels, you know.
Yes.
Yeah,
Shout
but
out
yeah,
Stratford.
Court. Shout out Andrew and Stratford Court.
Yes.
Great question from Steven Savag.
why
Lux,
don't we get him on
what
some point, actually?
non-vaporwave influences do you find influence your work?
Ooh. So he said what like non-vaporwave things influence my work or what non-music things? I'm sorry.
What non-vaporwave influences do you What non-vaporwave influences do you find influence your work?
I would
It was
say
well worded. I may
probably-
have not read it right.
I'm also slightly buzzy, so forgive me.
The
I would say
cherry-
commercials. Yes, cherry bourbon, yes.
Oh, that's of course. Yeah.
Commercials, hands down. I don't do it as much, but I used to like whenever my SoundCloud was active. Yes, I deleted it. I'm really sorry, folks. I've had a lot of people be very mad at me about it. I'm sorry. Yes, I did delete my SoundCloud. But whenever I did
Damn.
have my SoundCloud, I intentionally was like finding all of my screenshots and like kind of making like this whole like Lux fantasy of what can I use screenshot wise that would accurately represent this song to represent like what would be like a match made in heaven, what would be like a peanut butter and jelly moment. But it doesn't happen as much now. But I mean, I do kind of envision kind of weird commercials in my head. And I do find in particular that like Parliament Blue ads, of course, no surprise to anybody. Those inspire me. Those inspire so much. Of course, the Neon Nights commercials, single commercial from KTEL, that inspired me. I would say I used those ads for Dream Girl for my Talk
Hard
Soup
track.
VHS. Yeah, oh, thank you. It actually is 1 year old, which is crazy.
Crazy.
But I want to say they were all like Miller Lite commercials. It was like a series of like alcohol commercials that really like did this like glamorous longing kind of vibe because of course they were trying to sell this like
God damn.
yes,
I love. Oh, that's calling up all kinds of.
Yeah, I
imagery,
like
man.
that.
yes. They
Pining.
really encapsulate.
Yearning.
What a luxury elite phrase. I love it.
Right.
Thank
Glamorous yearning or longing.
Yes.
Oh, longing. I like the L. Longing.
Yes.
Okay,
It was so pretty. It was. Sorry, I keep talking over you. I feel like a jerk.
No. I'm talking about you. I'm just fixating on this. Go on.
It might have been Michelob. Crispy, I think it might be. Yeah, it might be Michelob. I meant to say Michelob. But yes, it was like usually it was people by themselves. Usually people walking around, and they would just like be looking like forlorn or just like, of course, yearning while drinking their Michelob. And I'm like, I don't know what this is selling, but I'll buy it based upon the fact that it works really well with my music. So those are great.
Hell yeah. Awesome answer. Lost Traveler would like to know, what do you think would be the future of late night lo-fi?
My God, when doesn't Chris go off on me? What are you talking about? That happens all the time. I fucking know on the one time he did that. That's all.
You heard it on Hot Takes.
So the future of late night lo-fi, honestly, that's a good question. I don't know. I'm honest. I'm surprised it's even become what it has become now. Like, like I've said, I've just made that mix just because I didn't know what to call vaporwave, but it kind of reminded me of like night driving, the commentary of driving down some like a very like dead city in the middle of night, like just this, of course, longing that's always going to come back, longing. And I most certainly didn't expect for a mix to become a genre, which I mean, that was kind of my fault. I started using it for Luxury Elite, but becoming a festival too, which was crazy, very flattering, extremely flattering to this day. It just, I could like burst into tears thinking
pretty
about
badass.
it. I think that's fabulous. I don't know if it'll continue. I mean, I'm really glad to see that people are continuing to like run with it and feel inspired by it and do their own thing. If it ends up being that nobody else really does late night lo-fi, like the official, like kind of like loungy thing, and it's just me doing my occasional mixes, that's cool. I will say that I do think that late night lo-fi, I feel like it has been a little, I don't know, would pigeonhole be the term? A little boxed in. I probably by my fault a little bit. I mean, I even consider some of like the Talk Soup tracks are a little dancier 90s and like housey. If they have a dark vibe to them, I think that they're late night lo-fi.
Yep, I concur.
So I don't know, maybe people can go into a different direction, but still invoke that really sad, lonely vibe without including a beautiful melody or a saxophone solo. I mean, more saxophone solos, please. But if it's not there, it's all right.
Nice. Celadon Dream Suite would like to know if you could hear a collaboration album by two vaporwave artists, who would you want to hear together?
WWW. Wacky, wonky windows.
Oh shit! I was like, who's that?
All right.
It's-
I remember the inside joke.
He fucked around
Yes.
and collaborated with Equip before Eyeliner.
Yes. So for folks who are
Shame.
not aware, Eyeliner and FM Skyline for me is like a dream compilation. And the term wacky wonky windows was something that Isaac created whenever we were talking about my weird windows at my last apartment that opened sideways. So I don't know if I was the one to say wacky wonky windows and he was the one to say, oh, that sounds like the Eyeliner FM Skyline collab. And I was like, yo, you got it.
You gotta be the one who said wacky wonky windows. That has to be the part.
It was a collaborative effort, and her memory is much better than mine, so I'm gonna trust that.
I actually did. I will say I'm very proud of the fact that I actually did get Donovan Hikaru and Eyeliner to collaborate. I did that.
You did that.
I manifested that. Let's manifest wacky wonky windows. I actually did mention it to Pete to his face because of Malort at I2K.
Because of the Malort. That's funny.
He at least was amused.
Yeah, he was. He had some Malort that night.
Yes, he did. Oh, it was great.
This is a great side question. Neon Pines Mall. What version of Fire Walk with Me should I watch? I'm between seasons 2 and 3.
So hold up. Give me 2 seconds. Linktree Elite once again. So
Oh.
there is a. I know I should not be sharing.
No, this is
illegal
super
things,
great. No, this is
but
super great. You're gonna want to copy this. Neon Pines
There is
Mall.
It's called the Q2 fan edit. It's changed name since I last got it. I think somebody kind of like enhanced it a little bit. But it's like, so they released the missing pieces right before they were like brought on the return. And it was like everything that they filmed for Firewalk with Me that was not in Firewalk with Me. But because it's missing from Firewalk with Me, some things in Firewalk with Me don't make sense. And as much as I love David Lynch, I'm like, where the fuck did the muffin come from? Why is this being said? What's the muffin? And it gets explained in the missing pieces. And so I recommend this 3.5 hour long mega file that I'm linking to that I hope doesn't get taken down because I linked to it in a Twitch chat. But please download that. It is long, but it is worth it. It is so worth it. It answers a lot of questions that arise in Firewalk with Me that I think people were just like, oh, that's David Lynch. He's mysterious. It's whatever. But please watch the fan edit. I think there's only one scene that is not included, and it's the scene where Dale is talking to Diane, but Diane doesn't respond back because nobody knows who Diane is at that point. And I'm not going to finish that sentence.
I need to watch that myself.
We can
Badly.
watch it. I have it on my my external hard drive. It's like 6 gigabytes. I don't care. We will watch it.
Hard. Great question from Kona King that was actually seconded by Yannick. What inspires you to release on Luxury Elite versus an alias like 1-800-TONIGHT? Or perhaps make a new alias for a new idea?
So the whole like side alias thing kind of started because I kind of felt like Lux had a specific sound and a specific vibe that I really honed in on that I did not want to jeopardize by an album that was like, I don't know. I didn't want to feel like I was releasing an album that would be the equivalent of like Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, where you're like to different lore, like doesn't even have the original character, like a whole different movie.
Exactly. It's like an entirely different vibe, and it's like, why did you release this as Lux?
Good metaphor.
Well, thank you. I thought of it off the top of my head. It just kind of came to me.
Silver Shamrock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I better shoot. But
oh no, that's gonna be stuck in my head now.
Yes.
Come out of my face.
I'm lucky. I have the music that's playing here piped in through my headphones every episode. No Silver Shamrock for me.
But
well, okay.
I don't know. It's just all of that sound. I find it to be really important to not like if I feel like it doesn't fit within Lux, I try to think of what it can fit within, and I feel like 1-800-TONIGHT was a banger name I thought of like back in 2013. And I was like, okay, I'll use this for weird phone sex sounding things. Let's go. And so I did. And I don't know. Anything that doesn't fit within the Lux realm, I like to make a side project. And sometimes it actually flourishes and it becomes this whole thing. So yeah, I hope that makes sense.
I think it does.
It's
Cool.
great.
I mean, it's a pretty damn good, reasonable answer.
Thank you.
Nayoka Shoje, I want to pronounce that right. Lux, do you have songs where you had a concept first and found the sample to match your idea? And alternatively, how often does the sample source come first and inspire that idea?
The sample source usually comes first for me, to be honest. I go into a lot of my projects with a totally blank slate. And I usually don't know where any of it's going to go. I just kind of find the samples, let it happen, and then as it continues to as the pieces come together, I start seeing what I'm envisioning and what I see the album turning into. I usually find that if I want a concept beforehand, it doesn't really happen. I feel like I always want fantasy was kind of my lucky charm moment, and that I had wanted that to happen, and it just kind of in a weird way fell into my lap. But usually it is sampling first, finding the concept later, if that makes sense.
That's reasonable. Kind of even like the sample can evoke some imagery, and then you go from there.
Yeah.
Thanks for the raid, by the way, Frank. Appreciate that.
Hi, Frank.
Cassette 100 PS wants to know, curious about any samples that you use that had an existing autobiographical / nostalgic attachment before you used them? Or do you stick to finding new to you samples?
So my earlier work, I would say we'll say 101.7 WAV, for example. That album used Moving in Stereo, a part of Moving in Stereo that I've always really loved ever since I was way younger. I used the beginning of I Can't Go For That. I went to a lot of comfort things because I was like, this is my first ever thing. I want to represent myself well. Why not use my favorites? As time went on, I kind of strayed away from that, and I've gone into finding new things that I've never heard of, and just kind of fell in love with those tracks after using them or morphing them into a Frankenstein monster that I like.
Love that.
Dr. Chris, are you listening to something in the background? Because I keep hearing something.
Let me lower it. There's like a little thing on low over here. There we go.
Ah, gotcha. No worries.
It's his signal wave side project.
No, there's a TV in the other room that I didn't turn off completely.
Oh, good. No
You're good,
worries.
buddy. Frank
Good.
actually
I
had a
just was
great
hearing it. I was
question
like,
earlier.
Yes.
Frank wanted to know how many gigs is your music library. He said, speaking of
Oh.
hoarding, how many gigs? I can't pull mine up very easily, so I don't know the answer, but I know it's a lot.
I know it has to be at least, like, it has to be 1.5 terabytes at this point.
Nice.
Has to be. It's insane. Just years and years worth of things. I know I've even lost things that I'm still trying to get back to this day. So
That's
I
actually a
would
good
say,
question. Is
Yeah.
there something you lost that you regret a lot that you can't get back yet?
so honestly, I got really lucky. The answer, if I didn't have it on my dead MP3 player that thankfully was still working as a flash drive basically, was a Vektroid a compilation thing that she had sent me and Liz years ago, Liz of SBF 420, that consisted of things like B-sides that she never used in a lot of her projects.
Ooh.
That
hurts.
I found it. I had it. I almost lost it, but I have it. And I actually gave it back to Ramona because she was like, "Do you still have that?" And I was like, "Yeah, I actually do. You want it?"
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
What a guardian angel.
I still have an EP of something that she released called Drug Control that she never really touched back on except like briefly, I think in Telnet Complete. She re-edited one of the tracks, which I was like, why? It's so perfect the way it is. But it's like a Vektroid does future funk thing in a weird way.
No way.
It's called Drug
great.
Control, and it bangs. I loved it. I used to listen to it all the time on my wall.
How many songs is the album?
Well, it was like 4 or 5 tracks, not a lot, but it was sure as fuck like memorable to me. It was great. But that would have been my thing. Now I'm trying to look for. There's like an old album that I thought of like 2 weeks ago. That had a track that Gucci Hoochie later sampled, like a few years later, random name drop, Gucci Hoochie. But she used this track, and it was a track by 2 people I knew from the Black Moth Super Rainbow fans forums, Father Longlegs and Anaram. And I'll have to find the original track so I can send it to you. I at least found that track, like that singular track, but Father Longlegs deleted his Bandcamp years ago, which fucking sucks because I don't know how to find it, and I realized I lost it with my first computer death. RIP. Hi, Isaac.
Hey, sorry, I had to get another drink. We are probably not going to have time to get the last couple questions answered, guys. I'm very, very sorry. But
if you all want to ask them in the chat, I can try to answer them real quick for
Yeah,
you once
do
I get
that.
over there.
do that.
I
And
know.
then
I
before
talked
we...
my head off.
No, this has been wondrous. Before we
This is
say
fantastic.
goodnight,
There's
yeah,
so much
this is
more I
why
need to
we
dig
do
through.
this. Anything you want to promote, shout out, talk to us about, or just really anything before we bring on our second guest. Take your time.
Sure. I have a couple of things. So I'm going to be doing a live or a URL show on March 1st for Lost Traveler for, I believe it is called Underground Space. If I'm saying that wrong,
Underground Space 4.
That looks
Yes.
great.
Yeah, that lineup is killer. I'm actually doing something
Yeah, it
really
is.
different on the subject of side projects. I'm actually going to be doing like all of the tracks are like tracks from my side projects instead of just Lux. So it's like
Awesome.
1-800 Tonight,
Oh, whoa.
Night Video, Television Archives. It's all of those tracks.
How many show you're doing? It's gonna be
This
all
is
side
gonna.
projects?
Yep, it's all side projects. I've always wanted to do it, and I was hoping
Yep.
for an opportunity, and I was
So-
like, it's gonna be really cool.
It's
gonna be
very
fun.
exciting.
Yes, and then at the end of March, I'm going to be part of, oh my gosh, Sanctuary's URL portion. Thank you to Raina for the invite.
That
and
looks
accepting
great as
the
well.
invitation. Yes, so I am going to be for that. If Solo Dolo is in the chat, somebody needs to, if you're not here, somebody needs to tell him tune into it because I think that's going to be his dream set. It's going to
Nice.
be
Shout out Solo
Lux
Dolo.
in like 2013 SPF 420 era.
Ooh. I love how
It's-
experimental you've gotten with your sets lately.
It feels like,
been good.
for lack of a better term to think of, it's like crack fic Lux, like it's like crack fiction, like really, like
Crack
what the fuck is this random transition? What is this random song she's including? This B-side, what is happening? So yeah, that one's gonna be a really fun set. It's gonna be quite chaotic. Trying to think. I did release a new Way 900 Tonight track on my Lux Bandcamp. I'm really
Awesome.
proud of it. Loads and loads of ripped soft porn music.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yes, it's actually, it rules. You would think that it wouldn't work, but it works, and I am really proud of it. It happened literally, a snowstorm made me bored enough to see if I could go back, and I did. So
Nice.
thanks, snowstorm.
Shout out Snowstorm.
Woo! And that's pretty much it for me.
Badass. Well, hey, I wish we could have you on here for another hour. You were delightful in more ways than one.
This is great. This is
I know,
so
right?
fun.
She'd make a great co-host.
Well, thank
Want me,
you.
you know, just saying, you know, if you ever get tired of me.
Yeah, we live in the same
kidding.
house. He can help me out with the
Just
OBS
kidding.
settings.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
LMAO. Lux, thank you
Like,
so
I just,
much.
like, I gotta watch that. I gotta watch that Fire Walk with me. He's like, well, I can put it on for you.
I know, right?
Yes.
Hey, I'd be more than happy to help produce.
cracking me up.
Luxury Elite, everybody. Thank you so much for coming on
Yay.
tonight. Have an
Thank
awesome
you
night.
all.
Check out her
See you in the
shit.
chat.
And don't forget to
Thanks.
hang up so I can bring Frank in here.
Well,
Sorry.
fine. Click.
Love the ending. Fine, click.
Hey, Frank.
Oh, is that
You-
Franklin?
Can you jump on
Hey, what
camera for
up?
us, buddy?
Yeah, I thought it was on camera.
I see the cat ears. Oh, he hung up. There he is.
Is he back? Oh, okay.
Fine.
And let's fix that guest text. Hey, Frank. FrankJavCee,
Frank.
everybody.
Hi,
The
Frank.
crowd goes mild.
Big.
Hello, everyone. How are you? That's
Thank
what
you
happened
so
at
much.
the MagFest Vaporwave. They were like, and FrankJavCee invented Simpson Wave, and everyone's like,
Oh,
Bruh.
And then they were like, Cat System Corp. George Clanton.
how was
Standing
MagFest, by the way?
ovation. It
What?
was wonderful. I beat up so
That's
many
great.
Hey,
All the video
everybody,
clips I saw
I beat
on
up
your
so
private
many-
stories were super fun.
LMAO.
Luxury Elite, if you're there, I love your commentary. I love your ear. I love everything that you put out into the world, and there's so much energy that you're creating that's so positive. And yeah, hi.
She really is phenomenal.
She's the best.
Yeah,
There's
I'm
no-
gonna-
There's, except no imitations. She's the greatest.
Unapologetic Luxury Elite Stan in chat.
Yeah, Luxury. Like I've been watching like all the weekly. Is it weekly or monthly like lo-fi stuff? Because I put a lot of stuff in the background. I'm
Yeah.
really into liminal spaces.
Neon Nights.
This is my impersonation of skeleton lipstick.
You nailed it. It's like I'm looking in the mirror right now. Oh, there's Marion.
With
There's
Marion
this
in the
picture.
background.
There's Marion back there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what are you eating right now?
Food?
Oh, what
It
variety?
looks like carne asada fries.
Really? It's actually just rice.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
That's what
cute.
Chris is eating. Just
Mhm.
white
What's some
rice,
dal makhani?
Chris?
I've got some unique food.
I'm eating brown rice with a little bit of spice in it, because you know.
It's a
Now,
little bit of
nary
spice.
even a furikake sprinkle. It's just straight white rice. Christopher.
No, I've got no, dude.
I'm
bro.
eating futanari rice. Do you know what futanari is?
I've got
Yes.
dal makhani, the Indian beans.
Oh, the doll. Okay.
Yep.
Skelly,
anyway, Frank-
do you know what futanari is?
No, maybe I don't. I don't know. Do I not? Tell me what
It's
it is.
chicks with massive cocks.
Hell yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
Damn,
Is it- is that
son.
what-
Harrian's just like
wait,
in the background, just like.
Well, that's his hot take for the night. Just kidding.
No, my hot take is the album is gonna die one day, and all that's gonna be left
Oh,
is
no.
the algorithmically driven playlist that comes directly from your brain, and music is gonna be generated from your desires. There is no
Well,
longer gonna
fuck,
be musicians
yeah, you're
one day.
probably right about that, actually.
Do you
Yeah.
think the album's gonna die?
Yep.
Has it
And
already?
it's getting replaced by the
Yes.
algorithmic mixtape. So like that's my hot take is that albums a generation from now people are gonna be like, You want to sit down for 30 minutes? Ew.
I remember people who were very young asking me about DJing, and they're like, "Well, how do you get the music?" I'm like, "Well, you download it." I'm like, download it? What? Like, no, you don't.
Yeah,
you can't
whenever I have to tell people, like, yeah, you have to buy the file
or
or rip it if you're a vaporwave.
You know what's
DJ.
funny? I literally, like, I couldn't find this certain file, so I had to buy it on Amazon. I spent 99 cents for a Pink Pantherist, like, highest quality rip. And then I chopped it up, yeah.
You know what, man? Fucking hot take. I've played 320 and even 128K tracks at DJ sets, and nobody has said shit to me. Don't give a fuck.
You know what I've been doing?
Saying it right now.
I was DJing Washington, right?
Nobody has gone,
big...
I could hear that low bit rate.
All they care about is like the you know, the vibe. But one of the things that's like super noticeable is like the highs. So like older songs, their highs are so sharp and bright. So what I do is I just turn that all the way down. Like if it hurts my ears physically in the room, I know everyone in front of the speakers are gonna be like, ow. So I've been like just actually like when I DJ, I mix based off of the room like acoustics.
That's a fucking professional right there. Okay. Nice.
Yeah,
like I pay attention. Sometimes I actually raise up the treble, raise up the mids and certain things. But my big things, I love doing like subtle like bass cutoffs. So like I bring the bass down when the riser comes up, and then when it drops, I just raise that to like 12. And
hell yeah, that's awesome. That's a really cool. I would just throw like a little high pass, like, you know, just like a tick up there, and then just bring it back to the normal slot. But
yeah,
that's probably not as effective.
But yeah, that's my hot take, is that music is gonna not exist anymore.
Will anything exist anymore though eventually?
I don't know. I know that they're gonna put my brain in a tube because I'm just that special and different, you know?
You're gonna be like that one character in the '80s comic
Like
that has
like
the brain
in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, Krang. That's right. The brain, but he's got like a big, like super.
Whenever I
body.
talk to elder millennials, I go Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're like, hell yeah! But I'm like I'm a later millennial, so I'm like.
If you want to go even, if you say He-Man, you can go even higher than that.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you like really hit my Gen X millennial curve thing right there.
Yeah, Gen Xers are so like, where does the dystopian kind of like, there's like a deep sadness with Gen Xers that I just don't understand.
I think it was because they were raised during the nuclear crisis when everyone was just like, are we gonna die tonight? Are we even gonna have it tomorrow?
I love Gen Xers were just kind of like so like tragically bored. You know what I mean? Like that was just like
that's
or like
fair.
tragically like, in a hip way. Like, man, I'm just sitting drink my coffee. Like coffee shops were just coming up. That was a thing. They're like, oh, and then like. They're like, oh, there's just nothing to do. Just nothing to do here aside from surf the television channel, watch MTV, and you know.
That's one of those things I think about Gen, what is it, Z, or like the Zoomers.
Yeah.
Like they're creating their hauntology, but it's all like Frutiger Arrow. It's all Y2K, and it's like how I felt about
analog
the 90s.
Horror.
They're all very big fans of like the Mark Jacobs failed grunge runway that he did a long time ago. I think he did a like all their outfits are kind of just like a version of that failed.
I have poofy pants right now. This is my thing. Like I'm dressing like a Zoomer whenever I DJ because like, you know, I want them to think I was born after 9/11.
Nice.
Oh, I like that. This is very good.
Hell yeah, I'll take it.
Ah, very nice. Yeah,
It's poofy.
Gotta wear the cargo pants for the MagFest crowd.
I'm an older gentleman now, so I'm trying to dress more like an aristocrat, like long.
I couldn't tell.
Well, I mean, right now I'm eating Don Makani and like wearing a Get Up Kid shirt and eating the samosa. But
These eye bags say 90s to me.
Oh my god.
Look at the soap I got. What do you think of this? This is my.
I would.
Oh,
what does it smell like?
I thought it would smell like a Christmas tree. It's just lavender.
Oh, that's ew. That's like the worst smell besides patchouli.
I used to fuck with this guy that used to wear patchouli all the time.
And that's why you don't fuck with him
anymore. Whenever I think
anymore,
about patchouli, I think about that guy. No. But what were the
Sorry,
what
I'm
were
being
we
a hater.
doing again?
Well, we need your 3 album recommendations.
Okay, so my favorite album of all time is Lady Gaga, The Fame.
Okay, cool.
Lady Gaga, The Fame.
There's only one song on that I would skip. But that if like,
what song is
that's
it?
why I'm all about the playlist, because like I'll make a playlist and just like skip that. Nothing else I can say. I just think it's a very mid track on the album of nothing but bangers.
Fair. We have a big Lady Gaga fan in chat, so I just wanted you to name the song.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
love Lady Gaga. She's the reason why I'm transitioning to
She's
Italian.
badass.
Yeah, we're gonna be Familia.
Well, Hotel Pools, he worked with Lady Gaga, said she was a class act that, she came in and his dog had died the night before and she was like so worried about him and like called him up the next day and just to check in on him. And then years later, he like went through his cell phone and had like this number in there labeled Lady Gaga. And he's like, I wonder if this works. And she like calls it and she answers. And Stephanie,
Isn't that crazy that someone like picks up, someone that big actually answers the phone?
Right.
She's like,
I
oh,
always answer my
Stephanie,
phone. I used to be afraid of it. I used to have like that like phone autism where I couldn't talk to anyone, but then like I got over it recently where I'm just like, what's up?
Nice.
And like if it's a scam call, I'll be like, just scam me. I will let you take advantage of me.
Well, because it's just like gonna get you used to
How
answering the phone.
adventurous.
They're doing you a favor by sending you that scam call.
Yeah. I like having adventures. Have I told you like I've been kidnapped a couple times?
You
I've
told me
got
that's
into
one of
the
your
backseat
adventures.
You
of
did tell us a
cars.
story about that.
Drug people and
Yeah.
that was a good one. But you want to talk about one? Was there
Yeah.
fun?
We're doing albums. Okay,
we still
so
got
then
to do
my
the
next-
albums.
Okay,
Oh,
so
we're doing albums. All right.
Sorry.
Yeah, we'll
But here's the thing.
Albums, and then we'll start.
I only listen to albums when I am on a plane. So I don't
Okay.
really like my whole thing. Like I told you, I'm like, oh, the album's dead. But I just like listening to tracks that sound the same and like mix together different artists and stuff. But my next big album that I've been listening to is Thriller.
Ooh, the Michael Jackson.
I love Thriller.
Man,
yeah.
okay.
So I've been listening to
Going
that
for
on
the
a
big ones.
when I play shows across the country, like I'll give myself like, okay, I have 30 minutes, Thriller. And I've actually been DJing like older Michael Jackson stuff, but I remaster them so that they're as loud as EDM tracks and not as bright and sharp. Because in the 80s,
You like
it was
master
all,
them
like,
yourself?
yeah, I redo it so
What?
it matches the ear that
That's
I
such a
wanna
kind of
have.
a cool idea, actually.
Yeah, and then this is for people that are gonna be like, it's a bit controversial because of it. But I use a lot of stem splitting to split up the stems to bring out the bass and the drums the way I want to hear them. So I think in the
That's
future,
awesome,
music is gonna
dude.
be really malleable.
Making
and, like,
your
people are
own
gonna-
like edits is badass.
Yeah, and that's all I do. Like whenever I DJ, they're all my edits. Like I hope Quiz is here, but Quiz showed up to my DC show. And I
Love
played
that guy.
Sandstorm, and Chris was like, "This is the first time I've ever heard Sandstorm in the club." And like he was like,
What?
"I didn't know the kick
Really?
went so hard." And I was like, "Yeah, I added a sidechain kick to Sandstorm to make it even louder."
You're
He was
you're
like,
so
"No
badass, dude.
way."
That's
Have I
awesome.
played Sandstorm in front of you?
Maybe once,
Yeah,
but
don't know.
I was probably focusing more on just supporting, and I don't know.
Yeah, it was in St. Louis where I got my credit card information stolen.
What?
Yeah,
my
do you remember?
bad,
And I
dude.
texted to you. I was like, I
Was
got my
it
credit card
from that
information
Jack in the
stolen.
Box, or what do you think it was from
It was
something
either
else?
the Jack in the Box or the gas station.
That's right. We did go to a gas station. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I'm glad you made it out alive before the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau was completely dismantled.
Yeah, yeah.
It's gonna be okay. No one's gonna do anything terrible to that gentleman. No, they can't do it. They
You know,
can't.
a part of me almost wanted because they were trying to buy like $280 worth of food at some sort of like market. I forgot which one it was. It's like a big Whole Foods, not Whole Foods. It's like a
Natural
Costco
grocers.
adjacent. A Costco adjacent.
Sam's
Costco,
Club.
dude.
Sam's
Yeah,
Club.
okay.
There you go. It was $280 in Sam's Club in where was it? St. Louis.
St. Louis.
And a part of me was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it to them. Like they're struggling.
that's
might.
top 5 Frank moments.
Yeah, and I felt like kind of bad for that. You know what I mean? Like if you have to go to this length to get food, like I was like, I'll just give it to you, and then I closed it right away. But the issue was when that happened, I was going to New York, so I had to like transfer money to another card just so I could buy stuff in New York.
That sucks, man. I'm sorry. That's right. I do remember those shows being kind of back to back.
Whenever you saw that, the
Yeah.
first thing that they were charging on the credit card was like $280 worth of pornography.
I would be like, don't you know
$280
it's
worth of
free?
futanari, bro.
Yeah, that shit's free.
You
Well,
should
when
be
you're
like,
FrankJavCee, it
I'll
comes
give you
free.
You'd have to deny them
$540
so they would
worth.
learn. Like they would never learn unless you denied that charge.
Like I what is it? I was hanging out with my friend in Minnesota, and he took me to the big like weed place, but it was called well, they don't sell because weed is illegal in that city, so we're doing illegal hood rat shit. But it was at a place called Sex World, and it was like a big sex shop with like
Sex
weed and
World.
pipes and everything. But
Welcome
that
home.
place was great. I would if we ever go to if we're ever on tour, you know, take hot takes on tour. We're in Minnesota. We're all going to Sex World, and we're all getting laid that night.
And then we're going to that back room at that one club in Madison, Wisconsin.
The Halloween
Yeah.
show. There was that sex place connected to the venue at that Halloween show.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
talking
that was
about.
so interesting. Yeah, I have the. Remember, I filmed the whole thing.
I
didn't
filmed it
want
too
to
in the
post
dark.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
although,
fucking unbelievable.
Skelly, there's one quote you say in there, and I quote, you were like, "Oh, that's never gonna happen." Guess what? It did happen because I manifest my reality. But
need
next
the
topic, I
context of
really
that.
enjoyed the dungeon. I'll send you the clip.
Yeah,
the
please do.
dungeon slapped, but I was kind of pissed off. They were mad about like someone grating cheese on the stage. And I'm like, who cleans the cum?
Yeah,
off the
Mr.
floor?
Boyfriend fucking grated cheese all over the floor. Oh my god, those people were so mad.
Yeah, it was just
Poor
kind of awkward
Winter
because like.
He got a
Yeah.
lot of trouble for that cheese grater, but I gotta say that it wasn't one of us.
Yeah,
We
I'm
did
actually
great
gonna
at
hang
these.
out with Wintermute next month. We're going
He's
to
great.
Milwaukee.
He's badass.
He's
Yeah.
an awesome dude. We shout out to Ethan.
You should steal his Blade Runner sweater for me. I'll pay
Okay.
whatever you ask.
All right, I'll give it to you for free.
$333.
Money don't mean a thing when you're hanging out with FrankJavCee. But next
Exactly.
album, Nevermind by Nirvana.
Oh, okay, good choice.
Yeah, so I was obsessed with Kurt Cobain as a child, but I think 2-3 years ago,
Iconic.
I read his like biography by Christopher Cross, not the guy who wrote that song Sailing. It was just like a guy who interviewed all his friends and family after he died. This is something that kind of like tripped me out because like, you know, we each affect people, but like when you're dead, like, you know, your death affects everyone you've ever met. So what
It
this guy
does.
did was he just
I like
asked
that a
everyone
lot.
for a story on what it was like with him, and like a lot of it was like the truth of him was like, you know, he was a junkie. Like he, you know, did some shady shit, got a bunch of money really fast. And it's like, what do you do when your, you know, brain doesn't fire, you know, normally, and you have a shit ton of money and you're considered like one of the people that people focus in on the most. So I thought that was really interesting because like I used to like, I don't know, I used to just really like his textures and his melodies, because I could also tell it was like very much from him, and it wasn't just like, you know, he's trying to be someone else. That was just who he was expressed musically. So I was like obsessed as a teenager about that. So a lot of my early stuff has like some of that spirit, that teen spirit, as it were. My favorite off of Nevermind is Drain You, because it's his only love song off the album, where he compares love to being like a parasitic relationship where you're like sucking the life out of something.
That's a really good point. I really love all those observations about Kurt too. It's true. Like he was. Yeah, I think that was like, it's a very difficult thing to just kind of know who you are, to figure out how you communicate that through your music.
Yeah,
I mean,
and he would be like, and like my favorite thing is he threw up all the time, so that's why he would sing like this all the time.
Really?
Yeah, he had
No
stomach
way.
ulcers and stuff, which is like
Ooh,
weird
poor
analogy
guy.
because there was a time in my life where my album I Love Hating You is based off of like Nirvana-esque kind of recording processes, but I developed stomach ulcers during that time, so I was just
Ooh.
vomiting nonstop, and I lost like 40
Ooh,
pounds just
you
throwing
poor
up every day
man.
for a month. Yeah.
That's
Alright.
rough, buddy.
That's
Is
just
that, is
slap.
that the most arduous time you've had making an album? Was doing that
Nope.
one?
I think, well, I guess maybe that one physically, because it was just like a coincidence. It was also during quarantine, so like I went to the hospital and they're like, we have other things to worry about, and I was like, okay.
God.
We're gonna put you on the bottom of over here. We got to do
Yeah.
the.
Frank, have you ever seen Gus Van Sant's Last Days?
No,
Oh,
The
yeah,
movie
that-
about Kurt
Based
Cobain?
on the last. It's based on the. It's a reimagining.
It's based
or, like,
on it,
based on the
yeah.
last few days.
Oh yeah, like where he's like in like the mansion and stuff. I've never seen any of those movies. I was just more of like, you know, I like the music, and like also the book. The book was very like, because like I could vividly hallucinate if I want to. Like watch this. Okay, I rotated a CGI cheeseburger in my brain multiple times until it got so
Damn.
fast all the insides went out.
Oh, wow, this is a good story.
I can do
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
I
I'm
haven't
gonna
seen
do that.
Everyone rotate a burger spilling its guts.
Let me try. Oh wow, Frank, you. This
Yes.
is pretty.
This
tough.
man knows.
This
So
man-
when are you
Guys-
gonna book me to play Philly?
I'm booking shows lately, but I will for you. Sure,
I will book my own
I have
show.
like music to play now, so
I'll
like,
get you
we
on the
should-
guest list.
You get me on the guest list? Ooh.
Yeah. It'll say skeleton lipstick and a picture of
should.
you.
You know, it's like hard being at my other day job sometimes. It's
Yeah, yeah.
but I really do. I have a new album. I got like a live band for it and everything. I
That's
think I would
great.
really. Who else should we have play with us? Who
Just
should we have
me.
play with us? Just you? You don't want
Yeah.
to bring on like
No, I'm playing. You just show up and watch me, and I'll DJ your songs.
Oh, that's very kind of you. It really takes a lot.
I'll have a 4-hour set,
Wow.
and it'll just like and then after
Oh,
it's
Frank,
over,
Frank,
I leave.
Let's make it happen, baby.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will get you. I gotta exercise that part. Of
I have
my
a couple
life, I
friends
guess.
that live out there, moved there. I had a friend that got mugged out there, so I'm kind of like I want to be like safe. It was like
Be
near
safe.
the fish area. Do you
You
know?
might can stay in my house. I have a big house.
Yeah, we
I know,
gotta have
I
a party
saw.
at the Skelly Mansion, the Skelly Castle.
Kelly, you have a huge house. Where's your huge microphone? Are you just recording off of your phone?
Damn, called out.
Edric tried to buy me a microphone and it didn't work.
Get an SM7B. This is what Michael Jackson used to record
Chris,
Thriller.
you have it. You have a SM57.
I have a very nice. I have an iPhone, and it's like I got a little thing that I've got on right now, and like I could do this. Woo.
I'm just saying I want y'all to be of equal quality.
Me, this is,
Damn. You know,
That's my hot take. The hottest take of all.
I do think you looked and sounded better during the setup that you had in the first couple seasons. This works, but when you had the SM57, and you had that hall
Oh yeah, I
behind
did.
you,
I did used to have that.
That cat would sometimes walk back there.
Oh,
Adonis.
You have a cat?
I had
No,
a
it
cat.
was-
Not anymore.
What happened to it? Oh, I'm
break up,
sorry.
and my girlfriend took it back.
Yeah. I've never been broken up with before because I'm that cool.
Teach me your ways.
You would have to suck it out of me. And I
Have
don't
you
think
ever
can.
broken up
I
with
know.
somebody though?
That's the problem. I can't cross that threshold yet. But what?
Yeah. Have you ever
Damn
seen
it.
that? There's a guy named Will Blunderfeld who's like, gay sex is the ultimate form of masculinity and bro bonding. I love that
It is
guy.
the ultimate form of
He's
masculinity.
crazy. Like honestly, like he showed up to like his brother's wedding in a kilt and like flashed everyone his like junk and wiggled it around while singing
What's-
really high pitch.
There isn't anything more masculine than gay sex. There's literally nothing feminine going on in gay sex. It's
No,
very-
the
That's
most
true.
masculine thing you can do is be a great father. And I'm gonna have 5 kids. They're gonna be called the Frank 5.
The Frank
they're-
Five?
Frank
Their
5.
each name is gonna be FRANK, and I'm gonna start a band, and then the band's gonna have the star logo. It's gonna be like Jackson 5, but even crazier.
Do they have like cool jumpsuits that match and everything?
I don't know. I'm just gonna let them be themselves, but
Oh, that's pretty
teach them
kind.
every single instrument.
You're right. It is
Frank
the most
Force
masculine thing
5.
to be a father, a Frank 5 father at that, an FFF.
Yeah, the
FFF.
Frank Jav 5.
Well, Chad, why don't you run up those questions for Frank?
You
talked at the same time.
I just said the chat should run up some questions for you.
Oh yeah, run some questions. Frank, you having a great time lately. You're running around playing shows. This is a good stuff, right? You feel like you're keeping busy, making music, doing the shows. It's a
The
fun
thing
time
is,
to be
there's
Frank
so
right
much. I'm always constantly moving. Like I'm flying a lot. I'm staying at
flying a
people's
lot.
couches, getting hotel rooms, booking Airbnb for other people, getting together. I haven't really been like focusing on music. I don't have a laptop. So my laptop mysteriously disappeared one day. I don't know if someone stole it, someone threw it away. I threw it away by accident. Something just happened.
now. It disappeared.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just like,
kind of
okay.
fucked. Sorry,
I
bud.
guess
Oh, no.
I'm laptopless, but I do want to get a MacBook Pro so I could like do stuff on the go. But I've been traveling a lot so much that when I finally get home, the thing I want to do is sleep. So today, all I did was sleep, and I woke
Oh,
up.
and you still showed up for our show? Thanks, Frank.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I mean, because I know it's a pretty busy time for you.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
means a lot, man.
I got a massage. Okay, did I tell
Yeah,
you about my
you had an
emotional
emotional massage.
Now I remember why I wanted. Now. I
Yeah.
remember why I
Okay,
wanted
so
Frank on this show.
we go
I
to
wanted
this.
to ask you about emotional massages.
Yeah, let's hear about the
Seriously,
emotional massage.
What is the emotional massage?
Okay,
What's
so the main girl, like what is she? The receptionist that like always calls. Like she loves me
Yeah.
and Marion. Like we always go over there. She's like, "Oh, nice to see you," and I'm like, "Yay!" But anyways, she's becoming a massage therapist now, and I was like, I guess one of her first clients, and she was
Oh,
like
wow.
nervous,
Big
but like
honor.
she was really good. Like the thing is, like she was going in there deep because I was like, I needed deep. She was like walking on me, stretching me, popping my back and everything, and then afterwards, I gave her like a $40 tip, and then she like
Nice.
started tearing up, and I was like, why? She was like, I don't know, I just feel emotional. I was like, what an emotional massage. And then
Well,
we
is it
gave her a
about-
hug, and then we left.
We
I don't know, I think
saw
she
the
has a
message
crush
and
on me.
We're like, oh
low-key.
God, I hope Frank's all right. He just got an emotional message, and we were like, oh, I hope he's doing okay.
Well,
So
Lux
emotional
said you
message
posted
happening.
something like, I might be running
I-
late. I had a very emotional massage. And we were like,
Didn't realize it was
Yeah,
weird.
yeah. Fair
enough.
Message, like, oh no.
No,
Oh,
it's just like because we
God.
always go to that spot. Like we go there like once a month, and we've been going there for like 3
Nice.
years.
Wait, you told me about this place a long time ago. I think this is the
Mhm.
bathhouse too.
No, that's
That's
the one that's nearby. We go to that bathhouse all the time though, because we love
Okay.
bathing. If there's one thing about me, do you remember like when we were in St. Louis and I was like, I'm gonna take a bath?
I fucking love baths. I'm so mad that the place that Lux and I live, there
You
is
like
not a
baths a lot too,
bathtub.
Isaac? Dude,
I
Yeah.
love
you
baths.
Like bath- wait.
When you're
you like
hungover
baths
or
and
you're
massages?
tired, laying it. No,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
don't like massages.
Okay, so here's one of my things.
I
Like
don't
I
like
go into the
massages
case.
either. I don't like them either. I don't like it. It makes
I
me
love
uncomfortable.
getting touched. So anyways, I love taking baths with my friends too. So if you're like one of my closest homies, we'll be in the hot tub naked with each other. Me
Dude,
and
there's
Fiber
nothing-
were in a fucking K-spa talking about trains for like 30 minutes together. It was beautiful. Like
Wait,
Fiber's
wait,
one of my
fucking
closest homies
trains,
right
like
now.
choo-choo trains? Like
Yeah.
that kind of... Okay.
Fiber loves trains.
Yeah, that seems bad. That tracks. I heard there's nothing more. I heard there's nothing more masculine than taking a bath with your male friend.
yeah, man.
Yeah, I would
or
even
a
write
hot
a
tub
song
romp.
about it. A bath with my bros, you know,
A bath
making
time,
our
bath
broth
time,
together,
Bath
our bro
bros.
broth.
We're making a broth.
A broth.
A
Oh
bone
no,
broth.
you're right. That makes sense.
Like
Broth.
a train.
A
Quiz,
bro
we
bath
should go
with
to a
broth.
K-spa together. Quiz.
I'm fucking down. Whatever. I'll do it.
It's super fun. You'll see it because like the culture's nice. It's not weird. If like when you get there, everyone is so relaxed. Like they're all like, it's like heaven to me. When I die, I want the heaven to be the pool rooms.
The pool.
Nice.
I can't get over broth. I feel like that's a really good urban slang right there.
I prefer a
Robot.
stock.
There we go.
Broth. Bro broth.
One's
Bro bath is
made out of
broth.
bones, one's made out of fat and like other stuff. That you know how I know this? I was playing a card game
The
with my
good
friends,
shit.
and that was like one of the answers. Yeah. What are the
Frank-
questions we have? Because I'm just all over the place right
No,
now.
no.
Questions?
Let's
I
go ahead and
guess
launch
so.
into those.
Fine.
We've
I
actually
don't know, man.
got.
I'm not good at organizing.
Y'all run some more questions up while I get one in. Frank, what do you think is a fair price for an album or an EP or even a single?
I don't know, $10, $9.99. That's it. I mean, I don't really think about the price of music because, like, the way I've been making my money is just attention economy, where it's like if you pay attention to me, I make a micro penny out of that, but like I get a lot of attention. So, like, I remember this is kind of like a controversial little thing, but someone recently was just like really rude to me online and asking me for free stuff. And I was doing a charity show in Washington, D.C., and I was like, oh no, this show's a charity. I can't get you on a guest list. You have to, donate to the charity. And they're like, well, because we were raising money for Palestinian mutual aid so that they could help rebuild
Hell yeah.
Gaza. And so the person was like, but yeah, you have a blue check mark. Aren't you funding Israel by giving money to Twitter? And like they were just like really rude about it to me. And then like Fiber came back and like wrote like this whole message and like kind of like put them on the spot about it. And then they deleted it. They never apologized and never said anything. But what I was trying to say was like, where your money goes, like where you put your attention, that's kind of like what matters, And it was just
Right.
like, yeah, I do
Very
have a blue check mark because I've been a blue check mark since like 2015. Because like when I first blew up, a lot of people would make spam Frank accounts, like spam bots, be like,
Oh,
I'm
no
doing
way.
it. Yeah, so that's why I was verified. And then when the next verification came in, like I make like $50 off of Twitter. Like it's just like a weird ecosystem of like advertisements and stuff. So it basically pays for
That's
itself and goes in
interesting.
a circle. But like that's why I have a blue check mark. You know what I mean?
I don't think you need to explain yourself. Like you have
Yeah,
a brand,
I mean-
you need to advertise. You
I
advertise in
didn't
the
want to say
public
anything,
space.
but
Yeah, no, no.
those people were just rude. You know what I thought? Yeah, I thought
shout
it was
out
a psyop.
Fiber. Yeah.
Shout out to Fiber. I love Fiber. Fiber defended me, but I still think like sometimes the internet isn't real. Like I believe in dead internet theory, where I think like half of the trolls that hate me are actually CIA operatives trying to get me to stop doing what I'm doing.
Or just
Hey,
completely
yeah.
AI, not even an actual human.
Yeah, like no, for reals. Like I'm not even joking. Like there's been weird. Like I've had weird things happen to me. Like we were talking about lost media. I actually have a lost media that I purposely deleted because I didn't really want to like showcase. Did I ever tell you when I had like a weird stalker that was in love with my sister and he wrote a noise album about?
This is a classic Frank story.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have told us
so-
about a
I'd love-
stalker.
I'd love to hear it again.
Yeah. So I remember I screen recorded everything to hold on to it and be like, in case anything happens, I could like, either give it to the police, make a video about it, be like, don't do this to me. But then a part of me was like, I don't even want their energy in my life. So I just deleted everything from there, blocked them from everything. It's like, it's out of mind, out of sight. Like I don't want to even have the electrons existing in my magnetic hard drive.
No, I agree with that too. When there's things I want to get rid of, like I hate removing stuff that's like I've archived, but if it's somebody that I don't even want to think about again, you have to like remove the whole thing. So
Yeah,
you can't
yeah.
even be tempted to go back to it.
You know what sucks when like especially when you know me and my situationships, I have to delete like thousands of photos and screenshots and be like, you're out of my life.
Aww.
Exactly.
I admire your tenacity. Oh, hey, yo, he got the dogs out on chat. You
Got them
seen it on
dogs.
Hot Takes.
Got that dog in him.
All right,
Oh, do we have a
so
question for Frank? Should we give Frankie, the gentleman, a question?
yeah, we got
guys
some
have questions
questions
for
we need
Frank?
to go ahead and catch up on.
If
We'll
not,
start
then-
with what? We'll start with Quiz's question. Frank, can you say something nice about someone in chat?
Oh,
Okay. Yeah.
cordial lump, your emote fills my heart with a thunderous flutter.
Oh, that was nice.
Cordial lump.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was an
So I
app.
have another one. Neon Pine Mall. I remember when you lifted up that head of yours, and then I had to pee instantly.
That's,
Wait, is Neon Pine
That's
Mall
compliment?
the person with the
Yep,
the
Neon
head?
Pines Mall is such a badass.
Okay, yes.
Yeah,
Do
they're
you
awesome.
remember that time? That was a good
Yep.
time.
That was a good time.
Yeah, I miss those eras. Like Flamingo Fest.
Oh, they're
I'm gonna
coming back.
miss her. Yeah, I'm
They're
not.
coming
I don't
back.
know if I'm playing. or not, but I'm
2024
gonna be
sucked,
there.
Dick. 2025
It
is our year.
did. 2025 eats ass.
2025 eats ass.
Yeah,
heard
and
it
then
on Hot Takes.
2026 has to brush their teeth because sometimes like the fecal matter will be in the back of your mouth and between your teeth, and then people will be like, "Why do you smell
Delicious.
like farts all the time?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry,
I'll
I
have
didn't know."
more. Great question from Crispy
Hey,
Doodles.
Frank,
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 what
you got a question for
influence?
Frank coming up?
Yeah, we do. Crispy Doodles would like to know what influenced and influences your sense of humor.
I like laugh.
Me too.
Yeah,
like-
that's it.
I like
Honestly, laugh. You know what it is? It's psychically tickling people, and we were talking about touch. Like, I love getting touched by people. I love touching people. Like, I'll ask for permission. Like, can I give you a hug? Can I tickle you? You know, like little things like that. And like doing it psychically is like funny to me. So like when
That's
you
a
make
great
someone
way to
laugh,
describe it.
psychic, like it's just psychic tickling, and I like that. I just like absurdity. I used to think of comedians as philosophers for a long time. Not all of them. Like some of them are just like, you know, whatever. But I do think through humor you could tell people a lot of truth and a lot of things that need to be said. But like, you know, it's said gently.
Oh, I like that.
Jesus,
You're
Frank,
saying
holy
things
shit.
gently.
That was
That's great.
incredibly profound in like
Hey,
30
definitely.
seconds.
Yeah,
I
you're
mean, that's
welcome.
what Frank does. He says
I always have to tell people who've never hung out
else.
with you IRL. He's like this. He's always like this.
Poetically profound thing, and then right before that, talk about and then the fecal matter in your teeth, and then
Yeah. It's just like, you know, I'm just vibing.
Do
Yeah,
you
I feel
write?
like this. That's why I'm like, get Frank back on immediately.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would love to.
Bring out the remix
I
shows.
want a talk show so bad, but like the thing is,
Yeah,
like, I
you
need
should. You have
someone
the
else to
energy
press
for
play
it.
for me.
Do
You don't
you
want that- don't
write?
want that responsibility.
Frank, do you write? Are you a writer?
Of course I am. So here's
Good.
one of my like deep Frank lores. I have this internet journal that I've been writing every single thought and feeling I've ever had, and like I have a few people in my life, like very, very close people that know all my passwords in case I die, so that they could release all my stuff if like anything happens.
Like
so it's just out there.
posthumously?
Yeah, all my demos, all my
Wow.
projects, and
Right.
all like I wanted to compile that notebook into just like my life story, cause like, and like, you know, I don't, you know, I don't change names. I tell people.
I
how
like that you're
actually
like,
felt
instead of,
about it.
hey, guys, delete my search history, you're like, no, release all of that shit.
Release it.
Yeah.
Release it.
I
Oh,
want them
yeah,
to know
no.
everything.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Like I can't release my autobiography until I'm gone. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, you know, all the
We could
stories that
have.
we talk about. Like, you know, it's weird because like I was talking to someone. There was like they were like a pretty famous like cloudy kind of chase rapper guy, and he was
Nice.
like, "I really like your internet persona," and I was like, "What persona? That's just me."
I was going to say,
No,
like, people who've never hung out with you don't realize
Like,
you're
it's good. Oh,
always
thank you.
like this.
A bit of a character I've been workshopping for a few years.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is one thing I will say is that like I do appreciate like everybody that we're friends with like is authentically who they are. Like I don't really feel like anyone's creating
Yeah.
something for other people. What's that? What's that pretty
It's
thing?
just,
Whoops.
I got this rock from like an ASMR girly who makes jewelry, and she gave me like a giant quartz.
Oh, that's great.
And then I have an amethyst that amplifies my Aquarian energy.
Got an amethyst around here that I had a girlie gave me for being a nice person recently while she was drunk. But I want to bring that my amethyst. I should get charged at a telepath show.
You know what's funny about getting charged? I also got put on like ionic water. So it's like water that's electrically charged to have more hydrogen in it. And like when I drink that shit, I feel like it's literally giving me ki.
Ooh, key. I don't do anything terribly. I don't like everything's so basic with me. I never try any of these fun, healthy things.
Yeah, you should hang
You
out
were
with me more
drinking
often.
some green
I would love
soup
to.
last time we were on.
That was just Indian food. That's like not like that's
No,
not ionic
you were
water.
drinking. It was
Like,
in a cup. It was when you were
Okay.
about to go out for the night, and you were like, "This is my
oh
concoction.
yeah, that's like because I had been like.
This is
doing a
my
lot of other
vampire
things.
concoction, so I can stay up all night and then
I
sleep
was in Miami and I
forevermore."
have been doing a bunch of other things during the week.
I've been
so, like,
wanting
I
to go to
haven't been
Miami.
down.
I want to
What's
go
that?
down there because I love Miami music. Like I love Caribbean sounding like music, like especially when it goes like dun 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 dun. Like I've been wanting to go to. I was in Florida actually last year. I forgot I went to Disney World. That shit was wild.
I
Me
want
and
to go to
Marion got nauseous
Legoland.
on a bus and almost threw up on each other.
We got a question that has been asked, and I guess I skipped it, so I'm going to ask it right now. Afternoon Walk says, can we talk about how nowadays most production tutorials have a bit of a comedic appeal and how Frank most likely pioneered that?
So here's the crazy thing about that. So like Deep Frank lore is during that time I had dropped out of college. My first vaporwave video I made, I told you this, where I was making fun of my roommate's boyfriend who used to make fun of me for being poor and was like, you don't understand like the complexities of the industrial military complex and how vaporwave is a capitalist satire. So I made that video to make fun of them because they hurt me, and then that launched my career. But yeah, nobody was trying to be funny music tutorial guy, and because of that I had so many haters. So many people were like, you're not serious, you're not this, you're not that. But like I just like having fun with things. Like my thing is like I never take things too seriously. I just like being silly, hee hee. And yeah, weird thing is I don't watch other music tutorials. Like I just kind of stopped from there.
Skelly's
I
a
never
fan.
even watched
I can
other
tell you that
people.
already.
Oh yeah, I always love the FrankJavCee music tutorials.
I don't
would,
watch other
like,
podcasts.
I would like break the ice with like I would always use your Witch House one to break the ice with goth girls.
Yeah,
That's
Witch
a
House was
popular-
crazy. I love
Witch
that
House,
one.
your Witch House tutorial one, you remember? You put it in the
Yeah, the
microwave. And you
bee
set it
sense.
120 and you put 120 on the microwave.
And then I microwaved it.
Oh
it got on
man!
fire.
Did you throw a bunch of bees in the microwave so you could get that
Yep.
bzzz in the background? Yeah.
I know. I think nowadays I could probably make like a crazy
I
Witch
love
House
it.
banger. Like
You
that
probably
old
could.
song was just kind of like splice. Not it wasn't splice. There was vengeance samples in there. Like that's how old I am. Like
It was
if you-
vengeance samples in
vengeance samples are are old enough to be like an adult now. But like
Oh,
it's crazy if you
no.
listen to 2000s vengeance samples from like 2006. Like that's
Oh,
what made indie sleaze.
there. Oh, I'm gonna do that when I didn't do that. I got a lot of stuff I need
Frank.
to do.
Archangel wants to know, do you have any advice for up-and-coming vaporwave artists?
Yes, steal. Just keep stealing. Re-release
the
other
Unreal
people's
approach.
music. Make your own bootleg tapes and sell them to people. Call yourself something in Chinese because they're gonna be taking over the world pretty soon. So you want to get good on that. Other than that, oh, I have this funny joke. It's something me and John were like laughing at with each other because like he keeps it. He's on the vaporwave. He's a vaporwave icon, legend, curator. So he sees like everyone's takes. Everyone has like really strong takes about what is vaporwave, what is this genre going, what is the scene, what blah blah blah. I go, I don't make vaporwave. I make money.
Damn. Air horn.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, if you want to make vaporwave, just follow your idols. Keep doing what you're doing. Set yourself to like. I think Luxury Elite said it best. Where it's like everyone samples the same thing. Like, what is gonna make you stand out?
That's a solid fucking answer, buddy. Thank you.
Yep.
How do you get those vapor bucks?
Vapor bucks.
All hell breaks loops. What happens when you press F5?
I think it refreshes. Shout out to all Hell Breaks Loops. All Hell Breaks Loops has taught me so much about visuals and like just creating vibe visually. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, shout out
man has
All Hell
all
Breaks
that.
Loops is
See
so
all those
skilled.
crazy visuals he's doing for this big concert.
We should have had them on like 3 years ago.
Oh my god, yeah. That's
Shout out
crazy.
Tyler.
Oh, no. I'm glad we have them
He's
on
probably
now.
too big for us now.
What they're doing lately is
No, Tyler
Yeah,
is never too big.
use-
Tyler's a homie.
He did such a
There
good
are some
job
people
for
that, yeah, for
when he did
everything
Lux's
we've done.
visuals for Electronicon 3 especially.
Those are great.
Profoundly good work.
Those were
That was
great.
such a hot room. I was like having an existential crisis while melting in the corner. New York is humid as fuck.
You know what, man? I was surprised. I need to go there not in August. Because goddamn, dude, it is hot as shit. Like I didn't realize
love
that
New
and it's
York.
not even like that far north, but like I thought it was far enough away that it wouldn't be hot as shit, and it's not.
I will always love New York, even though the first time I flew there for a sold-out Young Bay show and I opened up for Young Bay and everyone booed me and said I fucking sucked, I will still go back to New York
What
and kick
the
their ass.
fuck?
They booed you at Young Bay? Oh,
I opened up
man.
for Young Bay in 2019 and everyone
Well,
said I
that's
sucked.
that's
Because I was
that's on
playing,
Young
you know,
Bay fans,
original
Frank.
music.
That's not on you. That's
No,
on
God,
Young
how
Bay.
dare you.
Average Young Bay fan. You
Yeah,
heard
the
it on
average
Hot Takes.
FrankJavCee fan is literally a musician.
The average
like, I'm not trying to be
FrankJavCee
shady or
fan is probably
anything.
fun at parties.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they get laid. I'm just kidding.
Yep.
You get laid. That's why you gotta listen to FrankJavCee.
That's why I have 5 kids.
See FrankJavCee. I couldn't keep him off me anymore.
Yeah,
True
it's
story.
true.
And like I said, I literally would use your silly tutorials to break the ice with girls. Like,
So yeah, you know what's crazy though is I legitimately think I'm a fertility god. Like, do you know the Native American shaman that plays the flute and he has like
You
crazy
talking about the
hair?
Coco Pelli guy?
Yeah, I feel like I have Coco Pelli energy when I go on live because
I
like,
could see
every
that.
time I've done a show, people end up like fucking, and I'm like, okay, this is weird, strange.
You
You gotta
may be
stop
onto
playing
something
those
with that.
kink
I wouldn't
parties,
doubt it at
bro.
all.
Yeah, like my birthday party, my first birthday party in 2019, like a couple ended up hooking up in the bathroom, and that was like a
Hot.
crust punk venue, and I was
Oh,
like,
Not
really?
hot.
You come to my birthday party and have sex in the gross ass bathroom?
Yeah, that's they got it wrong. They lost the plot.
He said
with
they
that
got
one.
it wrong. Stephen
got it wrong.
Savag says, Frank, I remember we
Wait,
talked a
Frank, I
while
have a question
ago
for Frank.
about branding.
sorry,
Okay, go ahead and do your question. I'm sorry.
No.
We'll do
I was gonna
Savag's
ask-
question afterwards.
Yeah.
I just want to ask Frank: have you ever made love in a bathroom?
Next question.
Steven
My kids
Savag
are
would like to know.
Okay,
Frank,
Go on.
I remember we talked a while ago about branding and marketing for artists. What advice do you have for the artists in the chat looking to market themselves and get noticed?
Was kind of harder early in your career. So early in my career, I got recognition by just being very, very like looking back at it. I was one, really annoying. Two, really like. I remember everyone that commented, I liked their comment, commented back. Anyone that messaged me, I commented back. It was all just communication, constantly communicating, constantly being like,
Interactive.
hi, yes, I see you. Yeah, interacting. Then later on, as I started getting bigger, I was like, okay, I'm gonna make videos where I just read everyone's comments. And I'd make like 10-minute long videos where I just read the comments. And like, it's just people want to be seen, people want to be acknowledged. They want to know that like what you're giving them, what they're giving you, they're getting back. So, you know, like, people that are killing it in the game, like I look
like
at Groovy
that.
Kaiju and have like, you know, he
Oh,
answers
yeah.
like every email, make sure like everything is personalized.
With a ton
my
of energy, too.
Yeah, all my homies that are making it and that are successful, they're like doing it like with the audience. So, but then after you get to a certain point, it's all money. Like straight up, I'm gonna be like 100% capitalistic. It's like if you have money, that money's gonna grow. So whatever you do, like these shows I've been doing, I've been just throwing down like $100, $200 on Instagram advertisements just to sell them
Wow.
out. And people are like, "Oh, I just saw this and it looked cool. I don't know who you are." So like recently, like at MagFest, everyone that was in that room was just there for MagFest, but there was a few people that were like, "Oh, I saw an ad. You're the DJ,
Yeah.
right? The DJ." And I was like walking around, they're like, "You're the DJ. Oh, it's the DJ." And I was like, "Yep, that's me."
Nice. Nice.
That's what I used to do for Terminally Chill is throw down the Instagram ads and stuff like that. It works.
Yeah, it works because that's
Well,
the new
especially
model.
Once you create a reputation for what something is, and then because
Yeah.
people will forget, they'll go to one and they'll forget about him. But then if the ad comes up, like, oh yeah, that guy, that show.
So the people who are
Yeah.
getting started and don't have money need to be interactive. They need to give
Acknowledge
that
that they
energy
can-
back. Then once
Yeah.
they start getting rolling, they get some momentum. They have some capital. Invest
Mhm.
that capital in the form of ads.
Yeah, and then one of the other things too is I talked to this with a lot of my friends, and this is a good like how you view the world and how you see things. Some people think it's all luck. You know, oh, I just got lucky. I but like you make your own luck. To me, I'm a very lucky guy, and there are proof out there that the more lucky you think you are, the more successful, optimistic about the world you are. They did like this one study where you had to rate yourself on like how lucky you thought you are, with like, you know, 100 being the luckiest and 0 being the unluckiest. Everyone that was like said that they were lucky, they gave them like a booklet, and on the booklet was like 29 different items that you had to circle and write around, and like it was basically like an I Spy. On the back of it said there are 29 items in here, so they had to like, it was kind of like a blank test. Everyone that said they were lucky turned the paper around and saw that it said 29. Everyone that was unlucky sat down and counted all the items in the list, or like the picture. So it's like people that view themselves as lucky or like more opportunistic see the world more open, and people that think that it's like, you know, unlucky or the world's against them, they see their world as closed and closed off and closed minded.
Kind of start pessimistic.
Yeah. So that's why like this is what I was talking about, like there's someone was like the radical vaporwave optimistic train, because I saw that on Twitter. I'm still on Twitter. I love Twitter because you can watch people die and have sex on there, and I think that's very, very scary. But on Twitter I was seeing all these people's pessimistic takes about reality, and I'm like, you're just calling that reality to you. The more you look at the world being a horrible place, the more your world is horrible. My world is beautiful. I've been seeing some beautiful people. I've been seeing creative things, and like that's just what I'm calling into my life, and that's what I want to put out in the world, is beautiful things.
Yeah.
The world needs your energy, man. Keep it up.
Thanks.
Subliminal
I
11
need to
says.
take a nap.
He's to take a nap.
Subliminal 11 says, "Do you hate speedcore / extra tone?"
No, I've never really hated them. Like, I mean, back in my early days, I was kind of like, you know, sitting on the fence about a lot of genres, so in order to incite kind of like a feeling in people, because I knew people are more likely to share something if they hate you. And there is like this, like, you ever
Wild
notice
how
the
that
most
works.
popular things in the world are because people are very derivative towards them, or divisive. Like, look at Kendrick Lamar. I was actually going to say his latest album was going to be like one of the albums I listen to a lot. I actually do listen to that album a lot in rotation when me and Marin are driving around Los Angeles, because it's an album about LA too, and so we like listening to that while we're driving. But like, everyone had an opinion on his Super Bowl performance. Everyone had to say it was the worst. People were saying it was the best, but he simply just focused right now. Everyone's looking at him, and because everyone has different world views, it's going to be more pronounced. It's like, another example is like 100 Gex, or like even when like the econ drama, like everything was just so divisive, but that's what gets people talking, is division. Whereas like a lot of people, like, the only hate I ever see nowadays are people saying I fell off, but it's just because I'm not creating division between people right now. I'm just like being a silly little guy, and because of that, like, my numbers are, you know, they're not as big as they were back in 2019, 2020.
Sounds like a
Except
bunch
for
of
streaming.
haters.
Yeah,
Is it-
I don't get hate as much as I used to, but people be streaming my music still, so like that's
Real
where
shit.
Yeah,
There you go, real shit right there.
People like positivity.
yeah, I'm electric right now. I've been drinking electrified water. I hope it doesn't give me brain
Ionic
cancer.
water.
Luxury Elite with a banger of a question. Frank, of all your many live show experiences, do you have an all-time favorite moment? Or you could even do a top 3 favorite moments if you want.
There's some good ones out there. I'm trying to like remember. One of the more funny ones where it's like I actually felt like a real big artist, and I was like, oh, this is what Skrillex feels like, was when I was doing like the SpongeBob raves. Like,
Nice.
it was fun,
I
but
love
like
that.
because
Hella
of that, like,
people.
Skrillex
Yeah.
right now.
also think too, like, you know, you're talking about like, I don't know what it is with me, but for the longest time my music was really masculine, so my audience was like 80% dudes. But then when I started DJing, I started like paying more attention to women and seeing what they danced to, what they liked, what they screamed to, what they sang along to, and that's something that I developed like an interesting kind of feminine touch when it comes to DJing, where like I'll be playing songs that like I recently started playing this Panic at the Disco Jersey House remix. Every time I play it, everyone goes crazy. All the girls scream. They know every word. They go crazy with. But when it comes to shows and performances, I still think about some of the early ones. I remember me and Marion played a coffee shop in Long Beach, and there was only one guy there. And as soon as we went on, he got up all his stuff and like left really aggressively mad because we, you know, were loud.
Come on.
Yeah. Another early, because like a lot
I'm
of
working
the
on
ones
my novel right now.
yeah, the
Right.
ones that stand out are all the negative ones, because you learn from negativity way more than positivity. When everything goes smoothly, it's just another show. If something goes wrong, you remember that and move on. I think one of the first ones was I was playing guitar, and there was like a feedback loop, and some guy in the audience was like, don't you know anything about feedback? And I was like, yes, I do. That's why I'm on stage and you're down there. And then he got up and left. And I remember thinking about that for a while. Because I was like really mad. Like he came at me aggressively, and I was like,
damn,
I don't know.
son.
Sometimes I have issues with men. Men love to fight me, but I feel like that's just like one of my things. Is like I am a combative man. Like especially when I'm in Arizona, like the men out there are really angry at me, but it's also like 125
Probably
degrees.
the fucking heat. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
goddamn
they're
heat,
angry
bro.
but they're angry because they're attracted.
Watch next time you go see Groovy
Well, yeah.
Kaiju, he's gonna like throw hands.
Next time we go to see Groovy Kaiju, we're gonna go swimming. That's what because we've been actually
Maybe you
swimming
can find a
together lot.
Korean
I
spa
love
out
swimming.
there. Me too.
We haven't been to one with him yet. We've been wanting to go, but we'll see what happens. I don't know if they have K-spas in Arizona yet.
Hopefully, maybe you can bring them there.
Yeah, we will one day. I like relaxing with my friends. It feels good to be vulnerable, people.
You know what? I think it's a strength. I think a lot of people are too scared, so being vulnerable is actually a strength.
Yeah.
Archangel had a question. What happened to your big room house video?
Oh, I don't know. Those are the ones where I told you maybe FrankJavCee lost media, but I actually recently went through my old hard drives because I found a bunch of my old hard drives when I was going through them. But I think my big room house tutorial I was making fun of in 2015. There was a huge viral moment where it's like on Facebook, there'd be like house producers that'd be like, I sampled a door closing and turned it into a big room house drop. So I made fun of them, and I was showing how you could turn anything into like a synth pluck. And that was my big room house tutorial. Yeah.
I love that. I mean,
I love that was nepotism, though. Big room house is all nepotism. Like, the more I learned about the industry, I was like, oh, it's just because of who you're related to or who you know. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's just a shame how often that's the case. Kind of reminds me of like the video of the Alberto Balsam where some guy scoots a chair.
I was gonna say all of those fucking all those tutorials were taken down because FL Studio was mad that I was promoting piracy of their software, and that like the actual pirates that cracked the software, like they had cracked by Team Air and stuff. So I was like basically promoting the cracked the pirate of their software.
Yikes. Yeah, shame. Nayoka Shoje. Let me get that right. Have you ever jammed with a live drummer?
Yeah.
And if not, would you think it would be cool?
Yeah, the first time I've always wanted a band, but like I told you earlier, like I feel like with men I compete against them. Like it was always really hard to be like who's the leader and who's the alpha, and like sometimes like bands are actually kind of like I know that like that whole psychology is kind of like dumb. Like there's no such thing as like alpha males. Like it was like one study and like they took it and ran. But right. I do butt heads a lot with other musicians sometimes where it doesn't work. But I would love to have a space. I know the only way it would work if I had a space, I brought people in, gave them the instruments, pressed record, and did it all myself. Like I need to have a space for that, and I've never had a space for that. Like my whole life, I've never really even had. Like I was in marching band, I knew friends in bands and stuff, but like it never clicked sonically and harmonically enough. But I know for a fact it's just because of my energy, and what I would have to do is have a space where I could invite people in order to do that. Like one of the crazy moments, this is an I2K moment. Did you go to I2K?
Yeah.
Yes, you were in I2K.
Hell yeah.
We were like looking for Airbnbs. I found one that was perfect for us. You want to know why it was perfect for us?
Why?
It had enough rooms, but it had a recording studio. It had a full like 2000s era like grand piano that you could record into. It had like 3 guitars. It had all of this, right? We pull up to the Airbnb and I'm like, yeah, let's jam. Guess who knew how to play an instrument?
Christ.
Ooh. It was only me and Vapor.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Just vaporwave
like,
things.
Yeah, that's just vaporwave things. But you know, it's different.
Only two of us can play an instrument.
Yeah.
Guys, we probably got a question. We probably got time for another couple of questions. Do you want to get one? Yeah, do you want to get one in real quick, Chris?
Oh, he's here. Come on, guys. Well, how many do we have?
I got one for you. What's on your sex playlist?
I don't listen to music when I do it. I make the music.
While you're having sex?
Since you can play an instrument.
For people to have sex too. Yes.
I mean, I did. Okay, so this is another deep Frank lore. I remember I gave everyone my Snapchat, and one of the first Snapchats I saw was like some weird shit to my music. So I was like, that was a bad idea.
I regret this immediately.
Yeah. See,
well, You
No, well, I make my own
the
music.
farty clown song? Sure.
The farty.
I'll have more. Chris, have you heard Seabat? The
Oh,
Hudson
Seabat.
Mohawk
Oh, yeah,
track?
of course. Seabat, the penguin.
Actually,
It does
you know
sound
what?
like a
There is
penguin.
The penguin.
One-
Absolutely. I love Seabat. That's amazing.
One sound that is very dear to my heart, or let's say some things went down while that was playing in the background, and I'll remember it, is the 2000s era Weather Channel mix that's on YouTube. Google that.
Okay.
That's a banger.
I might have heard that one, actually. Not
Yeah.
100% sure, but I feel like I might have heard that one.
And then
Rain
in the background.
Rain in the background? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know
throw
what's
some
funny?
rain
I do
sounds
like
over it.
I make crazy soundscapes when I'm really bored and like, cause like I probably do have some form of hyper tension deficit disorder, but like I'll put on like hand pan videos. You know, they're like bong bong, bing bong, bing bong bong. I'll put rain on, put some like soft like wind sounds, and then I'll put on a podcast and I'll just sit down and pay attention to that.
Ooh. Yeah, I could see how that could work really
I feel
well.
you with that. I
Yeah.
try
Just
to
the
put on a bunch
coziness
of
factor
different
goes up by
albums.
10.
Then you
Yes.
mix it all very softly until you feel like it's right, and then I listen to like audiobooks that way.
This makes like you're simmering a stew together, like
Yep.
an audio stew. I like that.
It's a little soup.
Dash.
We are getting
Dash.
close
Time.
to the end of our time together.
I'm
Oh,
getting
man.
close.
So
Really?
rather than
God
force
damn
it, I
This episode went too
know.
fast.
Why don't we go
listen to
ahead?
this- I get to listen to Lux and Frank talk. This is my.
I know.
Great.
This is definitely like a let's
I had
let's
such a
re-listen
nice
to this
time.
one. Me too.
I was eating my.
We
Indian
wanna make
food,
sure.
listening to my friends to say fun things. I'm sad now it's over.
Be sure
I
and
was
take your
eating
time.
Thai
Back
food.
to fucking misery. All right, come on.
Let's give Frank the floor for just a couple minutes. If you have anything you want to promote, or anyone you want to shout out, or anything you want to
Okay.
say,
Okay, so next month in March, I'm playing 2 shows. I'm playing a show at the Goldfish with a bunch of YouTubers, and we're raising money for the Los Angeles Mutual Aid Fire Fund again. And then
great.
the week after that, I'm going to Detroit, where I'm going to be DJing with Savog and That's Matt and a couple of Detroit
Hell yeah.
locals. That was going to be a fun.
I'm gonna come to that. I'm coming.
the
Really?
secret
I bought
rave.
tickets. Yeah, I bought tickets.
Nice.
Okay, cool, awesome, thanks. Yeah, so
Very
that one I'm just
cool.
gonna play like all the EDM stuff I love. And then in April, I'm
I
gonna
saw
be.
the. That's Matt. Oh, that looks so fun.
Yeah, That's Matt slaps. Shout out to
That's Matt
Matt.
really
I gotta
is.
check this out.
He's definitely
So
good.
I thought-
All of Nightfall Collective is just firing on every cylinder.
Yeah, they're great. I like hanging out with
They
them. I
really
like hanging
are.
out with DJs because, like, here's the thing: like DJs, musicians, anyone, we all jam together. We harmonize. We understand. Like, one of the things I think musicians need to understand more is like when to come forward and when to pull back and like flow with that more. But that's just my little opinion. And then April, I'm going to be in Milwaukee at the Milwaukee Midwest Gaming. I'm going to do that
Nice.
with King Quartz and Smooth Brain. All the Midwest aesthetic people are
Shout
going to
out
come out
King
for that.
Quartz and Smooth.
Great. That sounds fun.
And then in May, I'm going to Atlanta for Furry Week Atlanta. So
Nice.
I think Fiber's going to be DJing. Midnight Drift's going to be DJing. We're all going to show up and be
Love
furries in
Midnight
Atlanta.
Drift.
We're
Robbie
actually trying to
wanted
get
to
a
crash
show out
the
there.
episode so bad. I
Yeah,
had to tell them
Robbie does a
no.
really good Frank impersonation. He's really good at pretending to be me. It's actually scary.
Oh,
Robbie's
wow.
so awesome.
And then I think June is open for whatever. We'll see what happens. July, I'm gonna be at the Anthrocon, which is the
in
biggest furry
Pittsburgh?
convention
The
of all.
biggest
Yeah.
anthropology
Pittsburgh.
con.
No,
Yeah.
no. This is the furry con in Pittsburgh. I actually one of the
I'm just
saddest things I
messing.
can think. One of my saddest things is that I was dating a girl and like we were gonna go to that, and then we broke up before we could go to that. And I was just so
Damn,
sad.
you didn't get a chance to wear your foxtail.
No, it was my ex-girlfriend. Christ met her when we went to go visit Pittsburgh.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
I was
Yeah,
so
I'm
sad.
going
That
with
was, like, we were
her.
looking forward to that, and
So
then
that's kind of how I was gonna
it
let you
withered on
find
the
out.
vine.
Yeah, yeah.
Hope she's doing all right.
Me
Anyway.
too.
Not all
I mean,
trees
we're
bear
going.
fruit.
We're
But
going
maybe
together.
I'll try and
So.
come this year. I'll try and go this year if I could get a.
I keep trying to get it in. But anyways, I'm going with
Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to find a furry bay at Anthrocon
Uh-huh.
in Pittsburgh.
We're not afraid, neither was she, but we would have learned. We would
I
have
have-
learned.
And yeah, that's it for right now. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'll be at other places. I just fly out, do stuff.
So clopping
Um,
in June or July.
Yeah, July. And then I want to release new music because I have like thousands of songs that are unreleased.
Oh.
Like I'm not even joking.
It's one of these new songs. Send it out. We'll put it into the world.
Yeah, because like also like okay, this is just me being me, but like when you're promoting, you didn't use a single one of my songs, and I was like, excuse me. I have over
I
300
sure
songs
did.
on
You just
I
didn't say. Are you
promoted-
talking to
I-
me?
when
I used
said
the one
that,
with
I
Marion
included songs
singing
I had when I
aesthetic
did-
something or other.
Aesthetic
put
something
favorite
or
songs.
other.
Yeah.
I mean aesthetic fashion. that
You're
has
so
over,
mad
like,
that I just
a
can't remember the
million
name of the song.
streams.
My bad.
Yeah, it's okay. I understand my place in society.
No, go
But, like,
on Instagram right now. It's up there. I promise you. Aesthetic
Okay.
fashion. Sorry.
Yeah, I believe you. The thing is, I'm just being mean. But
It's
yeah,
okay.
thanks
I
for
can
having
take
me. I really like your energy together. I like hanging out with y'all. I like just interacting and be like, we haven't seen each other since Flamingo Fest, huh? Like
Not
all
cool.
of us. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely overdue.
But
Yeah, the
I've
rest
seen
of
you
our
since I2K. We went. That was like
That's true. We did see you at I2K. That is true. I was like,
Yeah,
it's been
so-
it's been more recent than that, but I can't remember when.
Yeah, so at least once a year. I would like to see you once a year. You know, I could
Yep,
just fly out
same.
anywhere. Oh yeah, I'm also doing the internet stuff. So I have a IRL show. I'm doing one with Crystal Eternal. I know I'm submitting an IRL one
Oh,
for
Sanctuary
that.
Live. Nice.
Yeah, I'm doing an internet one for that. I also have this other. There's like a rap collective. They like me, so I'm doing one for them too. I forgot the name
Awesome.
of it. It's not awesome. I think it's something else. It's like summer solstice something.
Not awesome.
This was-
Another game. That was funny.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks. I like being witty.
It was good. Bing, bing, bow. Boom.
FrankJavCee, everybody. Thank you so much for
FrankJavCee.
joining us for this very special remix episode. We love you very much, and we're glad that
We
you
do.
carved some time out of your busy schedule
Thank
to spend it with us.
It's
I've got-
your nap schedule. I mean, really. Thank you.
I've got a couple things coming up that I'd like to go over real quick, and then I'll give it over to you, Skelly. We've talked about Underground Space 4, Lost Travelers' upcoming Vaporwave IRL and URL festival on Saturday, March 1. It's going to be 9 a.m. their time, and I don't know how that translates to Pacific time. Yikes, I'll have to figure that out. But anyways, I am performing a URL set alongside Luxury Elite, Christ, Cat System Corp, Desert Sand Feels Warm at Night, and a bunch of other heavyweights. And I have chosen to mix 30 minutes of 80s R&B, actually more 90s R&B than anything. A lot of New Jack Swing and smooth jazz type stuff. Very
Versatile
pleased.
DJ out there.
What'd you say?
You're the most versatile DJ out
Oh,
there.
you're too kind, man. It's the first set I mixed on the new XDJ AZ, and it was hard as shit.
Hell yeah.
Mixing songs with vocals is always harder than instrumental. Holy shit. Because then you got to throw these loops on so that the singing doesn't overlap, stuff that Frank probably just does with his eyes closed.
You know what I use? I use Mixed and Key. Mixed and Key is like
Mixed
my
and
main.
Key is fire. I need to use it
Yeah.
more. So we got that coming up. Be sure to tune in on the 1st of March for Underground Space 4. And then a as yet announced Vapor Loot Festival 2, put on by Lost Colossus in the Rabbit
Right.
Hole Club. Don't know if there's been a date put down for that yet. If there has, Lost Colossus, would you kindly advise in the chat? But I completed a 25-ish minute lo-fi house DJ set, but the kind of lo-fi house that uses Memphis rap samples.
Yes.
Oh.
So
Nice.
Imcopav just said Vapor Loot 2 is March 7th and 8th. Thank you.
Nice.
Don't know which
Nice.
day I'm on. Don't know who's doing my visuals. But if you like Memphis rap and lo-fi house, you'll like that. It's like a variant of the. It's like funk. I mean, Chris. It's like funk, but with 4 on the floor beats.
Oh yeah.
So that's yep. And that's all I got coming up. Well, not actually. I'm sorry. I'm playing Sanctuary Live as well. Sanctuary Live is going to be taking place IRL at Cafe Bourbon Street, the 29th of March, I believe, in Columbus, Ohio. Frank, thank you so much for the generous donation. Damn,
You're welcome.
that was very kind.
Thank
This
you.
is going to
Thanks for
Skelly's mic fund.
Skelly's mic fund.
No, you've never
I need
done
you to
that
have one of those
before.
Britney Spears mics where you just have it in front of you and be like, "Hi, I'm Vince from ShamWow." I need you to have
Oh
one of
my
those.
God! With the
Okay, fine, I will get one for you. I will do
Yeah.
that.
oh,
Please
I would
brag.
love that. Come catch me in Columbus on the 29th of March alongside Fiji, Lost, Luxury Noise, Imcopav, and a bunch of other cool people. And that's it. That's all I got. Skelly, what do you have going on?
I don't got anything going on. Go listen to Death Romantic, the new album. You can find it on streaming services.
And check out the photography.
Oh, you can go listen to look at my photography. I actually have a bunch of shit coming up with that. I've got some fashion shoots. I don't know, coming up with that.
What?
That'll be published. I don't know. Been getting into the 35 millimeter photography. Only analog. I don't do digital photography. Don't ask me to do that. Only
Hardcore.
with 35 millimeter or medium format. But anyway, I do have some stuff coming up with that. I'm working with some creative directors right now, but that's neither here nor there right now. That's gonna take a while before any of that starts getting published. Although I did get some stuff published in this magazine called Documedia.
I felt like I saw that.
If you want a copy of that, you can just send me a DM. But no, I've got any music stuff coming up, or live shows. Send me a go listen to Death Romantic. It's out now. The new
It's fire. Don't sleep. Guys, be sure and follow us. Check us out on Spotify. Follow Skelly and me. And, of course, if you are down, check out the shirts from Vaporwave Live, courtesy of B Fant. Donate to us if you feel led. You know, all donations go towards getting Skelly a better mic, and then paying people to make art for us.
Death Romantic is the Instagram for my photography. Death_romantique.
Wait, how many millimeters is it?
35 millimeters, baby, and
okay,
a humble 7.5.
I'm roughly 150 millimeters, if you know what I mean.
I do. That's the most. I hear that's the most.
We'll find out at the K spot.
You do a joke. Someone else do a joke. It's too hard.
Yeah, you do math. Find out. You'll see what I mean.
Guys, join us same time, same place in 2 weeks. That's March 3rd at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're gonna have Vitesse X on the show.
Ooh.
Vitesse X. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. New people and veterans alike. And Frank, love you very much. Everyone have an awesome night and be well. Care for each other. Good night.